Colin.
Love you.
Me and Colin are like
Wait,
this.
you have to speak about Colin really quickly.
Okay, well, I have some beef with Colin.
Okay.
And I couldn't even really tell you why.
We'll come back to Francesca.
I just start roasting Colin.
I'm like, hi, it's Megan.
And it's free.
And we just want to talk about TV.
Welcome to our podcast,
Unseriesous. Each episode, we're going to cover a TV show, new or old, and have a silly little conversation about it.
So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get unserious.
We're engaged.
No! We are
We're engaged.
Insert himself what?
Yeah. Wait, what other ones?
That's all I got.
That's all I got. We are
engaged. Let me try to channel Colin and do his carriage confession.
Okay.
It is torture that I cannot, will not, do not want to get away. I don't remember.
Exactly like. Thank you.
I really just he speaks to me so much. We are engaged.
We are engaged.
Woo! Welcome to the much anticipated POLIN season Bridgerton pod. Woo! We got our drinky drinks. You can't tell, but I have Lady Whistledown on my little cup. If you go to our TikTok, we made a TikTok of all the snacks we made for Bridgerton.
B for bitch.
So true. We are of course talking about season 3 of Bridgerton today, and we must make haste because there's a lot to discuss. But first, I should check in with my girl Bree and see what the heck has been going on this week aside from Bridgerton.
Bridgerton's the only thing that consumes me. Morning.
No, wrong one. Morning, noon, and night.
I care about her. Morning. I gotta turn that on. Okay. Well, anywho. Hey.
Hi.
This week, all I've done besides Bridgerton is finish my book, which I did today at the park.
Hell yeah.
I read Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn. I found it because on TikTok it was like queer books, and it said gays in crisis, and that was under it was like a bunch of different themes, and this was gays in crisis, and I saw that. I said, this is what I need.
Yeah.
And it was some crisis. It was a very roller coaster of a book. It's about a lesbian writer who gets canceled on Twitter. Twitter cancellation because she's not up with the lingo of the. But so she's trying to get back into. She had one book published, and then she was canceled, and now she's trying to get back into the swing of things. But she's just like a very chaotic character, and like not exactly a character you root for. But it was so funny and so good, and I don't know how to like fully explain it without spoiling it, because it's kind of just a book where things happen. It's like very normal people, but funnier, dark humor. And I'd recommend if you want some gays in crisis.
Gays in crisis.
And the writing was really good. I want to read more of her books, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Slay. And I think that's it.
What
about you, buddy?
I'm really trying to search my brain for something I did this week. At any point. Oh!
What did we...
I guess we could talk about this more next week, but we went
to
Glee trivia. I guess that's my only, like, extracurricular, because I feel like I didn't watch or read anything.
Yeah.
I talked about finishing This Summer Will Be Different already, so that's the last book I read. And just been listening to the same 5 songs on repeat. So other than that, we went to Glee trivia and we won.
We won.
We fucking won.
We won.
So if you're looking for some credibility, we will be covering Glee next week.
If there's one thing I know, it's Glee. That's about it.
If there's one thing about Brie,
Glee. That's all I got.
That's so true.
If I have to contribute anything, it's about...
So true.
But next week, you'll find out.
Yeah, we can talk about it more.
More.
We're doing Glee season 3 for the last
June Lynch. Because we gotta honor
June Lynch just flown by. We were talking about June Lynch for months, and now we're almost to the last June Lynch episode.
I haven't even read the book.
Fuck, that's what I should be doing. That's what I should... Okay, so I have 1 week to listen to the audiobook. Technically, I was saying if I had
it.
done it the whole month, I would have to just listen to a chapter per day. I would have been done by now, and I failed. So maybe I'll get into it this week.
June Lynch
Now that POLIN season
is over.
has come to a close.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I guess before getting into the show, just the atmosphere of just like Luke and Nicola being on their press tour, it felt like there was content every day since I got in. The reason I was trying to unpack why I cared so much this year, and we'll talk about it more.
Why I care so much.
But I think it started in February. They did one of their first events, and I was like, oh, they look really good together. The chemistry is popping, the PR is popping, and I was eating it up that I found the book, and I consumed that book in a weekend, and again, we will talk about it. And since then, I've just been like, it's POLIN season's coming, and then since the first part came out, the whole month of them on their, like, world tour, I was, like,
POLIN.
eating up content. And now it's over. They were like, this is our last day
over.
doing press, and I was like, that's really sad.
Yeah, there's a lot of content.
Yeah.
From everyone.
Yeah, and I
All those damn
really
interviews.
like this cast overall. I love.
And we won't see them for 2 years.
I swear to God, we'll talk about that too. But
They'll
God,
never be
I've been
together.
like, I don't know. I feel like I've been processing a lot of things that are from the show, but I feel like I'm also just processing the fact that, I don't know, I feel like it's been a consistent piece of my like social consumption
Yeah.
the last month, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna like, it'll still be around like while people are talking about it for the next week or so. But I'm like, damn.
But then what will it
It was like a
become?
comfort. When I'd like be stressed at work, I'd be like, well,
You're like, I can look at some Bridgerton
I can go
content.
on Twitter or Instagram and see a picture of them.
And just loop
without fail.
immediately.
Like, I was at work, and I was avoiding Twitter where the most spoilers are. Most of it was just cast posts on Instagram. First, I go on Instagram, there's a picture of Luke, and I was like, I'm not equipped for this today. Looked a little too good. And I got my shirt.
Yeah, everyone take like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll pause.
Yeah, pause it right here.
No, we have shit to cover.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I'm really close to the mic while I read my semi-okay.
Oh, yeah. What's this show about? I didn't watch it.
description. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to catch you up real quick. Bridgerton is a romance period drama series on Netflix set in the early 1800s England. It follows the titular Bridgerton family.
Not the titular.
In each season, I love a good titular. It follows the titular Bridgerton family, and each season focuses on one Bridgerton sibling, there are 8 of them, in their journey for
There's
love.
3 of them.
Season 1 saw Daphne fake date the Duke of Hastings and wind up falling in love. Season 2 centered on Antony's enemies to lovers journey with Kate. And now Season 3 follows Colin as he realizes his feelings for his childhood friend Penelope, who has always harbored love for him as well. The tea is
The tea.
Penelope. Spoilers, if you made it this far, you hopefully are okay with spoilers. The tea is Penelope is also the Tons' renowned gossip columnist.
Not the done.
Lady Whistledown, and due to past publishings about his family, Colin wants her destroyed as Colin and Penelope come together and head towards the chapel. The hunt for Lady Whistledown comes to a head. Colin's sister and Eloise, and Penelope's ex-best friend, pressures Penelope into telling him the queen is offering a 5,000 £5,000 reward for her exposal, and Cressida pretends to be her for the sake of
Slay
escaping
mama.
her family. When the secret starts to spill, Colin has come to terms with the love of his life being the same person he's loathed for the past 3 years. He has to come to terms with that, excuse me. As well as his own personal insecurities, while Penelope finally finds confidence in herself to speak out without a pseudonym. But at the end of the day, their love for each other keeps them going.
Oh,
I feel like that description really fell off towards the end. I was like, I'm not wrap this up.
dinner keeps them going.
I was like, we're just gonna
say the
talk
whole
about rest.
thing.
Yeah. I just talked for an hour and you're like, well, I'm here
like,
too.
okay, cool.
Um,
Yay.
that's Bridgerton. I had some housekeeping things.
Oh.
I feel like, per feedback from myself and others, for this podcast specifically, no. General feedback of like,
Feedback from who?
from me personally.
Oh, okay.
But like, I was talking to my coworker about this, so I'm just keeping that in mind in general, that I'm sure there are people who watch the show that don't know about the books.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't read the books, but do still know things that's kind of mostly our camp.
Me.
But
Hashtag me.
I don't want to be talking about that the whole time. I want to focus on things that we know as viewers, and we're going to wait to the end to talk about things that were Easter egg, that were dropped for future seasons, so that way if anyone doesn't want to know things that they're not
better
supposed to
exit.
know, you can exit
You
out.
can get the podcast.
Maybe I'll put timestamps in the
Ooh.
description or something, just so you know where like spoilers for things that haven't come out yet officially are. I mean, I think a lot of people know a lot of things, but I just want to...
The tea is spilled.
The tea will be
If
spilled.
you're anywhere on social media, something. But
Yeah, I'm just criminally online.
oh yeah,
So,
maybe
like,
I'm the only
So
one.
I think, like, that's on me.
That's it. Maybe I shouldn't
then-
spin it.
My other housekeeping thing was just going to be talking about being, like, terminally online. Of just, like, I think, like, yeah. It's making my mental illness worse, and I've been feeling it a lot lately, specifically with this show. But it's every show. I feel like I talk about this on half of our podcasts. Is that people don't know how to, like...
People don't know how to just, like, enjoy things.
Exactly, or let other people enjoy things, and it just... To me, this show... We can always compare it to Cocoa Melon.
It's Cocoa Melon.
And that's at the end of the day, all it needs to be Cocoa Melon for the adults.
Cocoa Melon. I want colors.
And then I go online and all these people are fighting over something we all should be just mutually sharing our love for. Even if there's different preferences, there are a million couples that have happened and will happen on the show. People are going to have their favorites, and I think that's so cool. It's what makes the world go round. But the fact that, like, people will hate on other couples for the sake of their couple, and I'm of the camp who has enjoyed every couple. Like, again, people have favorites, but at the end of the day, like, no one's shooting each other. They're a family. They all love each other. And I don't think we need to pit them. Yeah, but that's part of the fun. Is they're allowed to be mean to each other? Because they're a family.
This is what families
And that's my PSA for today, is that, like, you can like Kate and Anthony better than Colin and Penelope, vice versa, but that doesn't mean one is better than the other. Honestly, the show has flaws in every damn season, and I've come here to talk about that too. And at the end of the day, we should just join hands and fight the common enemy, which is the people who write these things and don't give everyone everything they deserve.
Everywhere, everything, all at once.
All that to sum up, too long, don't read. It's just... You love what you love, but don't hate on people for loving something different.
Yeah, fuck Colin. No, just kidding. That was a good.
I was like really
That
impassioned.
brings me back to my first point. No,
I fucking hate Colin. That's my thing. Like, we talk about this a lot. Is that it's really cool. That's what gets me. Is like every season is different, and you should enjoy each season to the best of your ability because, like, you get one season. And you
going into the show that every season is going to be different because it's about a different character. And it's different tropes and people like things more than blah blah blah.
And going into a season just because it's not about your couple and being like, well, it's like, well, that's the show, and like I think you're depriving yourself of just enjoying a silly little TV show.
And you still get the other people, well, not the Duke.
I know, I was going to say that.
The Duke had to go. But you know what? He's there in spirit.
They're feeding
Not
you,
really.
like...
They don't talk to him.
Yeah, so,
But, like, you get to see the family. Like, it's even more than just the couple.
Yeah, which is, honestly, to start going into, like, the show itself, one of, I think, the positives and negatives of the show in comparison to the books...
Yeah.
I've only read 2 of the books. I've read The Viscount Who Loved Me, Kate and Anthony's book, after I watched their season. And I read Colin and Penelope's book, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, before I watched their season. That's my only extensive book knowledge, other than what we've read online, which we can talk about at the end again. But in the book, you're only getting scenes if one or the other is in it. Honestly, maybe one of them. Like, if it's from, like, Colin's POV the whole time, I'm struggling to remember. I think they might switch between, like, Kate and Anthony or Colin and Penelope. But if they're not in the scene, that's not what the book is about. Mm-hmm. So the show does a really good job of, you get to learn so much more about the other characters. It built, like, especially with, like, Colin and Penelope, you got them in season 1 and 2 to build that, like, friends to lovers arc, which is awesome. And then can continue to see people like Kate and Anthony, Daphne a little bit in season 2, unfortunately. And it's really and you get to know the other characters that way. When we get to Benedict and we get to Eloise, like, you're going to have stronger feelings toward them. But I think where that becomes a negative is then the main couple who the show is about loses screen time to sometimes, I don't think, storylines that necessarily need to be taking up that much time when we get 8 episodes. I think, honestly, adding at least 2 more episodes would solve some of the problems, too.
This is a show that could rightfully be 22 episodes.
Honestly,
because
I will stand with you.
With how much, because like I do like learning about all other characters and having those scenes, but like it does take away, like I don't like it takes away from the main storyline, like. But like it just like there's just like so many characters that like.
Yeah, and I like them. Not to jump ahead to like like when I was trying to think of like a least favorite. I have preferences, but I don't think I have like a character I dislike of like the core people. And I was thinking back on like previous seasons, like a plus to the, not that I want to spend time like comparing and contrasting where, because I just said that we shouldn't be like pitting everyone against each other.
I'll pit, so in season 2.
I think this season was, again, also something I was going to say. When we watched season 2, the way I feel about Colin and Penelope right now is the way I felt about Kate Anthony at the time.
Oh.
And like recency bias is my favorite thing to talk about because it's so real. And I deign to tell you, I could sit here and go, nothing's gonna feel the way Colin and Penelope did when season 4. When
that's what you said about.
Exactly. That's my point. Is that I wish, honestly, I kind of wish more people like could be just so open-minded to the idea.
I
that,
just wish everyone would
just like have fun, because like I remember being so like the brain rot for Kate and Anthony was insane. Obsessed with them, and I was like, I don't know how I'm even going to care about season 3. Come season 3, I'm obsessed, and I'm having the time of my life. And I hope to God that when season 4 comes out, I'm this excited because
you're gonna be pissed.
It's fun. Wait, what? I actually am like,
you're like, what the fuck is this?
I just think it's fun. Like, I feel like that's more fun than being like, oh, I'd rather it be this and this. And I was that person too, when I was like, Colin's talking shit. I don't know how I'm gonna care about this, and I did, and I had a blast. And I think that's what's funny about this show is I started losing my train of thought.
I was like, that's funny.
But I think like that's what's tricky about like the space between them and stuff. Like it's funny. Like I still love Kate and Anthony. No one's saying I don't. But
you
like
hate them now?
No. It's just like the buzz is different because I think there's something to say about watching a couple get together than like
then they're already together.
But I was living for that too. But I was excited to watch another two bitches fall in love, and I'm excited to see that in season 4, whoever it is. Again, we'll talk about it. But what I was originally gonna say, I feel like, again, this is recency bias maybe, but I felt like in the first few seasons when there'd be other storylines going on, for the most part, not all, I was like, all right, let's skip through this. This season, I think, and that's probably partially because now we're 3 seasons in, we care a lot about the side characters more. And Penelope's family rightfully deserves a subplot because it's Penelope's season.
Yeah.
I was like kind of living for every plot.
No,
like, did I want
eating
Colin
up every plot?
Did I think Colin and Penelope could have used more? Yes, and I will speak on that. But like, I enjoyed
and
the side stuff.
I liked the drama it brought. Like,
yes,
those episodes were freaking lit with all of them. Cressida, Eloise, just like all that brought like it made it so like part 2 was freaking hype.
Part 2 was so dramatic.
It had me in it.
I was on the edge of my seat.
I was like, Colin.
Yeah, so I have a pitch for you. I think we should just get it over with and focus on Colin and Penelope just so then we can talk about everyone else. For you. Because I feel like I'm not going to be able to talk about everything else without at first acknowledging.
Talking about.
Because I want to tell Brie the book to show differences. Because I feel like that's like huge. And I honestly will say, having read Kate and Anthony after, that was interesting.
That was interesting.
Reading Colin and Penelope before, part of me, I'm not going to say the books are better, because I think they're a little dated, they're a little like not even dated in the sense that they're about the 1800s, but dated in the sense that they were written like 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I feel like they don't portray like these relationships as well as the show does, and not that it's also perfect in the show by any means, but it's a lot healthier, a lot more diverse, things like that. But I think going back to what I said, the fact that it's all about one couple, so you're getting all the development, all the details that the show can't do because it needs to be an ensemble. Because then what are you going to have 2 actors there the whole time and nothing? Especially when you want them to care about seasons 4 and 5.
Unrealistic.
Yeah. So it's not possible to translate that. So I will say, reading the book before and knowing what I know in the book kind of made me set unrealistic expectations for the show. that, like, is only my fault for having expectations of wanting to see XYZ. So when it didn't happen, even if it was the right choice, I was like, damn. And Kate and Antony, obviously I didn't have the expectation, but reading it after made me go, shit, I kind of wish we got this version of the events. Because for Kate and Antony, they're, again, probably much more unhealthy in the book, but they're married, like, right away. He sucks her fucking chest because she gets stung by a bee, and they're like, oh my god, you have to marry her.
Oh my god, get married!
And not that I wanted that to happen, but he doesn't make it that far with Edwina. Edwina doesn't get mad, and they get the whole book together. Mm-hmm. So, of course, it would be ideal. And I do like that it was a slow burn for them in the show. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, then we missed out so much. We didn't get their wedding. We got his almost wedding to her sister. Again, the fight with her sister was a bummer. So it's just, again, there are pros and cons.
But it was drama.
But it was drama.
I was eating that shit up.
It was really good. The chemistry was off the charts, like,
it was
obviously.
off the charts when Anthony goes,
when he sniffs her, that's hinge. And Lady Danbury is there, and she's like,
that's like, was I that? I said this
so good. I know. Well, honestly, we should probably just do a whole episode on the previous season.
Yeah.
I honestly also kind of regret not watching them before, just to A, build up Colin and Penelope more, and to refresh my memory on everyone else. But okay, so should I spill the tea? Okay. First major difference, you know this. Eloise doesn't know anything in the book. And the book actually is like 10 years into the future. She's been whistledown for at least a decade.
Damn.
So that was part of my thing of going, oh my god, is she gonna... Because in the book, it gets revealed at the end. I'm like, are they gonna reveal Lady Whistledown 3 years in?
Yeah.
And now the rest of the show, people are gonna know?
Yeah.
But I guess they were still book 4. So Francesca, Hyacinth, Gregory, and Eloise,
were
all books were her public knowledge, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, damn. And the big difference is, I don't believe in the book Penelope ever says anything bad about the Bridgertons. So, like, what she wrote about Eloise and
she
Theo.
needed to talk shit.
The Eloise and Theo thing didn't happen. So, like, Eloise had no reason for her to be even mad that she published something like that. I think they allude to the fact that Eloise doesn't even find out in the book. She runs away. Mm-hmm. We can talk about that later because it has to do with Eloise.
She runs away.
She's, like, not there. And I think she confronts Penelope about it later. Is like, oh, I'm so mad you didn't tell me. But she, like, respects her. So there's no real animosity there. And she also doesn't talk shit about Colin because Colin doesn't come back like a punk. Because he talks shit about her, not talk shit about her. Oh my god, there's so many crazy differences I forgot to write down. You know, she overhears him in the book. Yeah. But it's like years prior, like when they're like 16 or something. Mm-hmm. He's talking to Antony and Benedict, not like random men in society. So it happens when they're younger. Much time passes and he doesn't find out that he even said that. And it's more incriminating in the book because he's shit-talking to other eligible men versus his brothers who aren't going to say anything. Mm-hmm. And he was doing it more just to, like, get them off his back versus, like, whatever his, like, denial is in the show. So she's not talking shit about him either. So Colin and Eloise have no reason to be mad. So,
damn.
Needless to say, the part in the show where he spends the back half of the show angry at her and unable to, like, just look at her.
I'm sleeping on the couch.
Does not happen in the book. Because here's also the other crazy thing. In the book, he does follow her to, like, the printing press or I think they're in a chapel at some point. He follows her to town, confronts her, and then is like, oh my god, this is so dangerous. How could you keep this alive? Blah, 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 blah. Then the carriage scene happens. Mm. And then he proposes. So when he proposed in the book, he knew.
Okay.
So isn't that, like, interesting?
Yeah.
So, like, as much as the drama on the show is good.
I feel like a lot of the drama is just taken out.
Yes. It's a lot more, which in a book you're just like, okay, but it gives you more of the romance, which I think is more the book. Yeah. I think the drama.
Very much like romance, early 2000 romance.
Yes. So the drama on the show is necessary. A, because there's more characters involved, and it's a show, so you need to create shit. Like slowly bringing in the her mom and all this stuff. Like, that was really cool. Mm-hmm. I like the Eloise, and then all kind of conspiring when Cressida stepped in. All that stuff was really good. So I'm not complaining about that. I think the only thing I'm sour of is
you don't get as much time.
Yeah, and like happy time. I was joking. I'm like, okay, Colin, Penelope, happy moments, 30 seconds long.
Now you need to sleep on the couch.
And it's like I was like fine with that happening, but I think it happened for too long. Or the fact that if it was 10 or even 22 episodes, you could have had that last a long time and then still given them a happy ending.
Yeah, that's why we need that 22 episodes.
And it kills me. It kills me that they got married under those circumstances. Like I thought they would resolve it before the wedding, and the wedding would be the end, or like closer to the end.
Yeah.
Like that was honestly my biggest thing. Was like I understand why he's mad at her on the show because she did more direct things to him and his family in the show. But then it's like, then that tarnished like their wedding a little bit, and he obviously still loved her and was just trying to reconcile his feelings. And honestly, his jealousy. He went. She went, and it was all yellow.
And Eloise was like,
oh my god. Okay, what else? What other differences? So other things that they kept from the book. You're my mess was a line from the book. The mirror scene. So I had like the Mandela effect where I was like, oh, they fuck in front of a mirror. No, he just says he wants to in the book. Like that's the mirror scene in the book. Is he's like, I want to see you undress and do it in front of a mirror so I can see you like fully. But they actually like do the mirror thing in there.
They do the full
They really do it.
They do the thing.
They do the damn thing. He doesn't try to help her find a husband, but I do believe she asks him to kiss her because she wants to like not die. That's a line from the book too, which I didn't realize was, I could die tomorrow and it would kill me. And he goes, but you'd already be dead. That's one of my favorite lines because it's so silly. In the midst of this really sad moment where she's like, please. And honestly, to speak on that really quick, a lot of people were like really put off by her asking him to kiss her because it was like looking desperate and begging, but it was like she was taking agency, girl, and you don't have to like it, but it also happened in the book, and I do it too for a check. And that's what I have to say about that.
I'm sorry.
The scene that I was talking. Oh, don't worry, Maisel, the cat, almost fell.
Oh my god.
But she persevered.
She persevered. That's my girl.
Yes. Another thing that I liked, and I think the show did it in a way that was better, and honestly, the show did Portia better than anything in the world, because like she was shitty, but then I feel like her development this season was so like earned and deserved and satisfying, where it's like you like dug a little deeper under the surface. Like she wasn't just a shitty mom, she had reasons, and that scene with her and Penelope by the fireplace in her room was so like good. Like I have chills thinking about it, the way she explains the present, like the purpose of a woman in her eyes, and that's what she was led to believe. So she was like, I want you guys to be better, but I was going about it the wrong way.
That storyline's like one of my favorite parts of
I agree.
the season.
And it honestly makes me now, like I think if I rewatch season 1 or 2, I would appreciate their storyline so much more. When in the past I was like, skip, let's just keep going to Daphne, let's keep going
especially in season 2, I feel like there was so much of them, and I was just like,
but all of that like needed to happen for it to be this in season 3, so I'm like retroactively.
I feel like I'd appreciate it more if I went back and watched it, because all I cared about in season 2 was Kate and Anthony. Like, I just wanted to be back with Kate and Anthony.
That's my yes.
I said, all right.
But one of my favorite scenes in the book was, so after the carriage scene, and then his, are you going to marry me or not? He says that in the book. They go to her house, and Penelope actually has a fourth sister. God. I guess third. She would be fourth.
Where is she?
She has a younger sister, and the mom is assuming Colin's coming to court her, and is like, do you want to do this? Penelope, go get her watercolors, and she's like, she can get her own watercolors.
Go get her watercolors.
And he stands up and is like, no, I'm clearly here to court Penelope. Look at her. She's amazing. And then I was like, oh my god, because of the carriage scene out of order, and the fact that they're going to the Bridgerton house, we're not going to get that. But they still had him stand up for her. Yeah. And it's like, it wasn't in a way where Portia is talking shit. It happened in just like one simple way where it's like we didn't have to overdo how shitty she was to Penelope, but Colin could still have a moment of like standing up for her and showing her that he does care about. Because that was also in the moment Penelope was like, what if he doesn't love me and it's just like infatuation, but then he proves it by standing up to her mom and be like, it was out of love. So I was glad that was in there in a way.
He said, fuck you.
I love her. Cressida also, this is, again, 10 years in the future. Cressida has a husband in this.
Cressida.
And in the book, again, you don't get much of her from at least what I've read. She's just like a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I
off
heard.
to the side. You don't get depth in the book, so you'd have no other reason to like her in the book. But she does the thing where she's like, I'll stand up, it was me. And then that's when Penelope, like, furiously, I think that's when Colin catches her. She's like, I couldn't let her take credit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it's revealed at the end, which I will get to how that happens in the book, she has like a breakdown at the ball. She's like, and that's basically all you get from Cressida. No one cares about Cressida.
Cressida Nation.
We'll obviously talk about her on the show, though. And I think the two things that I am, aside from just like them not getting to be happy as much as they were in the book, two of my biggest losses are part of the way that Lady Whistledown's revealed. Colin reveals in the book, he like takes her hand at their engagement ball or their wedding or something, and he says it, which I don't think is better. I think the show is better because she got to do it and she got to own it and stand up for herself.
Exactly.
But I liked the way that he like was proud of it because again, we didn't get that until like a very small way at the end, and he's like, my wife, Lady Whistledown. And I wanted to at least say something like that, even if it wasn't to everyone. He was like, Mrs. Bridgerton. In the book, he's like, my wife, Lady Whistledown. She's like, I prefer Mrs. Bridgerton.
So
and he was
true.
like, yes. I wanted something like that. And I think the biggest loss, and I think you would be mad about this too.
Okay, let me hear it.
Penelope and Lady Danbury through the entire book are like best
I've heard about that.
friends.
Yeah.
And she loves her. So that when it's revealed, this is also a big loss that has to do with like the cast, is when Colin announces it. And I wanted this to happen even if Penelope announced it. Is like Lady Danbury tosses her cane and just starts slow clapping. And maybe this is a little cheesy, but she starts slow clapping. And then you know who starts slow clapping? The Duke. And Antony. Neither of which are in the scene either.
The Duke.
And I was like, you're not giving me anything that like, sometimes they have little moments, and at the end of the season, Lady Danbury came up and was like, I had a feeling. So they gave us like a nugget, but it was a consistent thing where like she would support her off the side or like shit talk with her on the side.
Like they never talked to each
exactly.
other.
And Colin and Penelope's first kid is named after her.
Aww.
And I feel like that doesn't become relevant. A, 'cause she had a boy. And B, like, their relationship, unless they continue to maybe show that off to the side in future seasons, maybe another one of their kids can be named after her. Maybe it isn't even the first in the book, but I'm pretty sure it is. Mm-hmm. And, like, why would she do that if they don't really have that strong of a connection? Mm-hmm. So that was my biggest loss. Like, when they were not interacting, I was like, this is one of my favorite parts of the book. Like, I loved that they were, like, thick as thieves, and it was like, she was so pumped. So I wish there were little things like that.
The Duke wasn't even there to slow clap.
No, because that's the part that's so satisfying, is because, especially in the book and in the show, Lady Whistledown has been talking about all of their drama, all of Kate and Anthony's drama, and to see those moments, especially when Anthony was like, if it was someone in our family, I would know. And for him to be like,
this dumb bitch.
Because Anthony had the best reaction to shit all season long.
Was the best.
He was like so serious and unserious at the same time. I think that's it for the book stuff.
That's some tea.
Isn't that tea?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when like things were happening, I'm like, it's out of order, and he's more mad at her than he was in the book. And when they like kiss in the square, I thought they were gonna resolve it then, and then no, he puts her in the carriage and like, bye, bitch.
I feel like that's the problem with book to like most things. Like books, you just get more detail.
Yeah, and like, ooh, here's something. They do it in the show that Colin like wants to be a writer and make something of himself, and Penelope encourages him to do it. And that was only like dropped in like 1, 2, 3, like in the book. That's so much more developed, and that I think would give Colin's character more like just like credit for why he's upset with her, because they do start to reveal it that he's insecure in his own ability to provide like for her and himself and like make something of himself. But they don't spend enough time on it because there's not enough scenes for them to really like delve into that and have them have conversations about it, other than like where they kind of fit it in where they can. And they did it enough with the amount of time they had, but if they had more time or pulled back on some storylines, then like I think he would have had more depth. And they gave Penelope a lot of depth, especially with her mom. That was like one of the best parts.
So good.
So I wish they just did that more. And then like him publishing his book was like the epilogue of the book. Yeah. So they did plenty of nods, but I'm just like, part of me is like,
they did Penelope being, or Cressida bribing, and then him being like, I'll pay, or like, and she's like, I have them.
Yeah, that was
like
fire.
She's got that coin.
Fuck yeah, that was badass. Yeah. I think we can obviously keep going about, like, actual stuff that happened on the show, but the overall note is, I think for every season is you don't get enough of the main couple because they need to make room for everyone else. But again, I think that would solve it by, I don't know, making these seasons a little longer, but also pumping them out faster.
And
Jesus.
At this point, we're not getting
Gregory until 2047.
It's just gonna be 2047.
Insane.
It's gonna have
I'm gonna pass away before then.
They need to be pumping them out twice a year.
I don't know what the fact that certain shows can do 22 episodes a year and it takes them 2 to do 8. I don't know what their excuse is, but I know it's not good enough.
Yeah, especially with how much attention this show gets.
Yeah. Okay. Other than the things I was bummed about or liked that they adapted, I thought they had really fucking good chemistry attributed to Luke and Nicola slaying the game.
Their PR game.
It doesn't even matter. Like, I'm not even mad. I think people that are mad, like, that's on them.
That's on them.
Like, I had a good time. And that's what you want. Like, not even like a relationship. When you're watching a show, chemistry, and then at least being friends, because it's a bummer when they, like, don't give a shit about each other. It's cool to see them getting along in real life, because you know that means, like, that just adds to the scenes that they were shooting the shit, breaking furniture.
They were shooting the shit.
I'm obsessed with them, and I think that's what made me like it more, is because they're so close in real life, and I think, like, Jonathan and Simone are good friends too, but I feel like we got it so much with them that just made it more fun to watch, because you knew that they got along so well. And, like, are very comfortable with each other, clearly. Just one scene went on for 10 minutes. We were like,
literally 10 minutes.
That is something I liked. Again, not to, like, make it apples to apples, but there was, despite them having a fight the whole time, it was fun to see them get together the first half of the season where...
Yeah, they were together.
I guess they kind of did that with the Duke and Daphne, too. They got together a little earlier, but it wasn't out of love. It was out of, like, obligation, almost, of, like, so you don't have to duel my brother.
They have to fake date.
Yeah. So...
I gotta rewatch this season. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to turn it back on. I know they were messy as hell, though.
Yeah.
Love them. They were messy as hell.
Iconic. They raised us.
Yeah. Yes. What else can I say about them specifically?
The hot air balloon scene, that was definitely interesting.
That was so... I feel like there's always a silly little event they go to.
So funny.
She was so distracted. I think it's so great. It feels like part 1 and part 2 are completely different seasons.
No, literally.
Because it felt like that was like a rom-com, and the list was like a fucking thriller.
This was a thriller, and I was living for it.
And I loved it, but I was overwhelmed. I think that's my critique, too, is, like, I love the other people that we'll talk about, but, like, I was like, I'm trying to fathom Colin and Penelope, and then they went boom, 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 so many other things happening. That I was like, okay, we could save some of this maybe for another season, but...
Nah, we need it all right now.
Yeah, I was like...
It's 2 years later.
I mean, I guess we need something to hold us over, but Jesus. I thought their first kiss was beautiful. I thought the carriage scene was beautiful. I grew on the Pipple song. I was like, why is this playing? But I think you have to remember, like, they were kind of saying that the carriage scene wouldn't have been as big of a deal if it was all released at once, because then, like, 5 would have happened, and then all the drama at the end would have happened. People would be like, okay, Pipple happened in that one scene, but then we got Yellow and You Belong With Me and POV.
Yeah.
Which all those fit as a more romantic song, but in that moment, I think Pipple was the right choice. I'll say it.
Pipple was my favorite. Like, yeah. I thought it was... I get it.
I have no complaints.
Like, that was the one, because the first few songs in the first half just weren't, like, giving.
Yeah, it's like you had Snow on the Beach, and it did play in a good scene. It was when he, like, breaks up her in Dublin, but I was like, that's an interesting place for it. Yeah. But at least it had a moment. I think Dynamite played for 3 seconds. Yeah. I don't even remember when. There was another one that, like, played for 2 seconds.
One? Oh, Jealous could have been so much better.
Jealous should have been once he already, like, was, like fucking pulling his hair out.
They did it at the
they did it too
moment.
soon.
It didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, and you knew that song was coming, and then you're like expecting
it. Could have been so dramatic. Like, that should have been the scene when he interrupted her, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
It should have been with Doubling, not like the random people she was talking about. Okay.
But at least Pitbull was in the game.
It was Mr. Worldwide, 1816, baby. I loved it. Honestly, no complaints. That scene was so good. Like, I felt like he earned it in a way where, like, he was on his knees groveling.
You earned it.
Like, after years of her putting up with the shit and him just, like, not seeing what was right in front of him.
Freaking deserved.
But
He
I feel like...
to lose his mind a little.
Yes, and I loved it. And, like, and her, like, having this one moment of going, but we're friends. And he, like, he's like, oh,
friends.
fuck, I fucked this up. And he had at least 10 seconds to be like, oh, shit, like, the way she's probably felt her whole life.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but I want to be more than friends. And then Pipple strikes again.
Not the carriage scene.
That's something they switch is when he goes, can the carriage driver not just keep on driving? That was Penelope's line in the book. So they really were like, no, we got to make him
yearn.
Mm-hmm.
Deserved.
Live for it. I think they were so good. I don't know why people couldn't get behind it. Like, again, it doesn't have to be your favorite, but, like, if you're not having fun...
What are you doing?
I think I had a lot of fun. And, like, yeah, the drama didn't happen in the book and it had to happen in the show, but, like, the inner workings of her and Eloise and then Cressida coming in and then them at odds and then bringing the mom's financial stuff and her development, like, who else was doing it like them?
Yeah, like, we needed that.
That was really, like, there were so many elements. Again, maybe if we had more time, it would have been even better, but, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, that is angst, baby.
It made, like, just, like, it all needed to happen. Like, Eloise being a little, like, distant and like, it just made the whole thing better. Everyone's complaining, but, like, why wouldn't you like that? Why wouldn't you want that drama? Like, of course I want them to be friends again, but, like, it made, and then Colin and Eloise having the drama, too.
Yeah.
Like,
what I'll say is I think Penelope and Eloise's arc this season was the best paced arc.
The freaking longing?
Their longing was just as good.
Given.
So good. Like, their friendship chemistry on another level and the yearning and all that stuff. But I feel like it was so well paced that it felt like their arc back together just felt right.
Yeah.
Like, they had equal parts, like, okay, she was mad.
Or whatever.
Then Eloise coming around and, like, it just naturally falling back together and then them being, like, really tight by the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Versus, like, that's my only thing. Like, I feel like Colin and Penelope had chemistry and it's been building for years and all this stuff. And I think the only thing I can personally critique on it is that with more episodes, I think it would have had better build up.
Yeah.
And then the fall down and then build up back, like, building back up. Because it bums me out that they only reconcile in the last, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Truly. Like, yes, they're together on their, like, they have their moment at their wedding, but he's still not, like, hasn't forgiven her. Like, that's my thing. I'm like, could we have had more time for him to be angry before the wedding and get a grip? And then I wish he was, like, longing for her more. Mm-hmm. But I think what we got was good. It's just, obviously, with more time.
They had 2 seconds to do.
That's my thing. It's like, they had 8 episodes to get him to fucking clock that he loved her, get engaged to her so the whistledown thing would hit harder, then be mad at her, and then come back together in 8 episodes?
Yeah, too much.
Even at least 10.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll take more. But at least 10, I think, would have, like, given much more wiggle room for it not to feel like...
It felt like there's a different, like, mood every episode.
Yeah.
There's a different, like, stage of their...
That's my thing, is because I love the drama, but I hated that so much it was him, like, not being able to look at her.
Just, like
him being on the couch with his fucking teacup, and he's, like, tears in his eyes. He was giving, though, like, acting down, like, how upset he was. That was a man in love. When he tells Eloise, he's like, you're lucky you've never been in love, because I'm fucking mad. Crazy. I'm just trying to look for Penelope and Colin specific things before we talk about anything else. I think when we were watching episode 2, we were like, why does Penelope want a husband? And it was like, to get you out of my face. And I think Colin must have said that to her. And she was just trying to get a husband to get him out of his face. So funny. So funny. I also wrote Colin and Elle in the carriage. Why aren't they wearing seatbelts? The first half I was like, la la
It's
la,
just la la la.
truly Coco Melon, and then this was like,
and then the trees in the intro.
Oh, we've already kind of joked about this, but I don't know whose idea was it for, like, Colin and Penelope to walk into the room in slow-mo and him go, we are engaged. And I was like, oh my god, why do you have to say it like that?
I'm like, this is the start of the second
Make it really hard to defend him.
No, literally, I was like, all right, Colin, get me in part 2, and then the first thing I hear this man say is, we are
That's my thing, is, like, I feel like the material's so there. They just needed a couple more episodes of build-up and then not being mad at her the whole time. Because I was like, Colin, but like, it was like his feelings were valid. But I'm like, we're spending the whole time of him angry at her.
Yeah. He went from, he was like, I'm gonna kill Lady
That
Whistledown.
Slade. I will make sure it is her life in this room. And cut to him fucking her up in the carriage.
What the fuck is going on? Not the carriage.
Yeah. Also,
the Bridgertons hate Lady Whistledown.
it's crazy because I wasn't, like I said, they were all like, bug. But like, her and Violet, when I wish we saw what the letter said. It was like, gay.
Oh, I know. I'm like, okay.
But it was like,
human.
I was like, could she tell her that she's proud of her? Like, there are little scenes where they were hugging and she was so excited. When Hyacinth hugs her, oh my god, this fucking family, I love them so much. They love Penelope so much. I loved those moments, and I wish Violet herself was like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But she was like, I got a letter from your fucking wife.
When Violet waves at, what's her name? Penelope's mom.
Portia.
When Portia waves at the wedding, and then she's like,
fucking live for her. Okay, where do we start with everyone else? There's so many. I like just wrote like a bunch of things. Just talk about Penelope and Eloise.
yes.
Like I said,
The second love.
Yeah.
Love.
Penelope loves two Bridgertons.
Penelope. No, literally, they're soulmates. They're all soulmates.
I love them. That's why I'm like, oh, thank God they'll be in future seasons because, like, that's my thing is, even Luke Newton was like, I'm really looking forward to them being happy next season. Everyone was like,
damn.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
So thank God.
The parallels of Eloise and Penelope when the waving from at the end of the season and in the what are you reading or what did she say?
I would love to know what you're reading. Tell me what you're reading.
And then they interrupt. I'm like, okay, I would like to know.
I was like, yeah, let her speak.
Let her speak.
Yeah, okay, Colin, I love you.
Colin,
But
now.
just wait 2 more minutes.
They just started talking. No,
Just
I was
got
like-
back together.
then,
Oh my God. And when her crying at the wedding, I know, I feel like you should talk the rest of the episode. I feel like I'd be up so much.
yeah, I don't even know.
Eloise crying at the wedding. I was crying at the wedding when Yellow was playing.
And they weren't even fully like friends again.
Yeah.
Like they weren't, and Eloise was crying.
And I think right before, like when Cressida like said, it's me, and then like brought the note and everyone read like I'm releasing my next column tomorrow. And then like they ran together and ran off. Like they were just like canoodling even though they weren't fully back together. But then when at the wedding and they make all the Bridgertons leave and then Penelope tries to leave, but he's like, you're a Bridgerton.
Yeah. She's like,
It was so good. Penelope.
Penelope, you're a Bridgerton.
That's all she's ever wanted. But then like she has to chase Colin out and then they fight and Colin storms out. So
And then Eloise hopped back in seat 2.
it's gonna be okay.
Eloise just,
I'm gonna start crying. I love them so much. Like, fuck anyone who didn't like this season because, oh my God.
I love.
I'm gonna cry.
And I also like, I don't know, I like that it was also about like Eloise didn't want to keep it from Colin because she cares about her siblings so much too.
In the
like,
book, sorry, one more thing about the book.
Dog?
Eloise and Colin are, I think, the closest in the book.
Oh, damn.
Which I love the Benedict and Eloise friends. But I think, like, Colin is more, like, goofy in the book.
Goofy, silly. Yeah, I
And
need
they're
him
like,
to be a little
they're like
goofier.
each other's favorite
I need him
siblings.
to give Anthony. Whatever Anthony's on this season.
Look, wait, put a pin in that. Whatever Jonathan Bailey was
Whatever,
doing this
he
season.
just like didn't listen to the script.
Anyway, pin. Yeah, no, I was obsessed. I feel like they did such a good job of giving us, specifically with them, the sibling dynamics. Oh my God.
What I didn't like Cressida and Eloise,
Mm-hmm.
like being friends, but then I didn't like that they made Eloise totally stop because it just felt very like, I don't know.
I feel like that story's not finished. I feel like that's the only one that didn't get a bow around it because, I mean, at that point, Cressida kind of like dug her own grave in a way that I feel like come next season, like we haven't seen the last of her, and I think there's room for, even with Penelope, Eloise, and Cressida, to like find an understanding.
There's depth there.
There's so much depth. Like, I love that in the show you get so much more of Cressida's home life, which I feel like maybe you can even assume that in the book of like, there's a reason why people act this way.
People,
So yeah, I kind of love their friendship. And I feel like I think it's not finished.
I hope not, because like that just rubbed me the wrong way for Eloise's character. Like, I love Eloise, but like that is one thing that like made me like,
yeah,
okay. But
I think
like, I hope
Eloise
it's not been...
values like loyalty,
yeah.
and I feel like it made sense for her to like kind of be like, all right.
Like,
but I don't think that's like finite. Like,
I'm like, Cressida's life sucks.
Yeah, I think we'll see more from them, because like I just can't see how you win it, especially like come whenever Eloise's season is.
Literally, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was so good.
I'm like, what else? Cressida in the red dress.
Incompetent. That was one of the best music.
That was a great music, in the like just the way it was going while they were walking. I was like, this hit. This is what I'm talking about.
Goosebumps.
This is this orchestra.
That was one of the best parts.
Fuck
her dad.
Fuck her dad.
Her mom's trying her best. This, honestly, the whole season, whether that was intentional or not, played so much on like a woman's role in society in the different ways that people respond to it. Like Penelope trying to break out of it, Portia trying to do what she thinks is best, Lady Cowper just not doing anything. Like, she kind of tried to help her daughter, but as soon as the husband steps in, she's like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Just
like it was very interesting to see that, even with people like Eloise. I feel like even just Violet being Violet and Lady Danbury, like, it's just all the contrasting like women of the season. So I hope that's another reason I feel like we haven't seen the last of Cressida or her mom, because they're both kind of victims in a way. Fucking society.
And Colin being like, your family will come around, and then she's like,
so my family's not like yours.
I'm like,
that's the thing. All the Bridgertons need to be put in their place sometimes.
No, because they're very privileged. Like Eloise too. Like,
they say that like, you don't listen.
Yeah.
Like, Eloise will talk about her problems, and I feel like that was one of the flaws.
She's a yapper.
That's what same. Can't blame her. That was one of the flaws in her and Penelope's friendship. Is she's like, I can't believe like this is like you didn't tell me, and it's like, bitch, if you just like paid attention. She's been in love with Colin this whole time. And I, again, not to be too much on Eloise, but like, it's a character flaw.
It was blurred.
And I feel like the growth this season, she's like, wait a minute. And she's like, and then her growth of just like realizing how much everything is moving around her and wanting to find something out there for herself. They're building her up.
I can't believe she's going to
Scotland. That's one
I'm like, just make her travel.
Bummed about. Like, I know, like, by the time we get to season 4, like, everyone will probably come back. I'm like, oh, her and Penelope just became friends again, and now they're going to be separated. I'm like,
in Scotland.
Damn. I know it's all happening off camera, but I'm like,
I
think that they should just travel the world together. Colin can come too.
Colin can be in the back seat
there. Like, just Eloise, like, permanent third wheel.
Eloise. Well, what also makes me sad about Eloise's character, which we're gonna, I guess, get her love story, but like, she's like, they thought they were gonna be spinsters together, which is like, and then just like seeing your friend get married, who
I think that's like a big kicker for her in her book, like, of like, oh shit, Penelope got married,
and now I'm alone.
Yeah, I think that's honestly not that like it has to be the story of everyone needs to be with everyone, blah blah blah, but I feel like. I think that's one of those reasons where she starts to kind of like consider it. And I don't know much about her book. I just kind of know the circumstance of it, and we won't talk about it yet, just to get into our spoiler zone.
The spoiler zone.
But I think they're slowly setting her up for something. I don't know. But who are they really?
Better be fucking good. That's my best.
That's my thing though, is I feel like I'm so skeptical going in before it, and I'm like, it's probably gonna slay, and in ways where it's like, there's gonna be flaws, like, we're not gonna get enough, or like someone's gonna be sidelined, or whatever.
5 episodes.
You're gonna start cutting back. Like, you wanted it sooner, so you're getting less.
Or we're just gonna get everyone crammed together.
Oh my god.
I'm like, hold on.
Oh wait, I want to talk about Benedict, but I kind of want to talk about Kate and Anthony first, just because I'm thinking about their role in it being cut back. I keep seeing conflicting information because people are like, not conflicting information, but like, I'm just wondering what actually is like true of everyone being like, they didn't get what they deserve, but it was like, Jonathan Bailey was filming 5 other things at the same time. Like, part of me doesn't think it was just because like the writers were like,
I think
fuck
it was
them.
their choice too.
I think so, but then I've seen people be like, they said that Bridgerton was their priority and they would have been there for anything. Jonathan Bailey would have been at every wedding. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think
That'd be hard.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. I know that he did say that, but I don't think they just weren't there because the writers were like,
I feel like they were there a good amount of time. I mean,
yeah,
like,
they were there
some
more than I
scenes
thought.
that I was like, but like they had even like, they're just little cute moments. They had a lot of that.
They did a great job. Of course, everything could
Which
use
made me
more.
ship them even harder.
They were just so lovely. I kind of wish they told the rest of the family about the pregnancy. I would have loved to see everyone's reactions because we saw Violet and Danbury's. But I did love like integrating Kate into the family, and I'm excited to see that with Penelope too. That's where I'm like missing. I would have loved to see the Duke start being integrated into the family, but I guess we're not going to see that. Love ya, but bro, just come back for like a second. That's because it's like they mention Daphne all the time, but there's no explanation of why she wasn't at Penelope and Colin's wedding, and no explanation of why she's not at Francesca's.
Yeah.
Like, even though I feel like they could have worked around it, so Kate and Anthony could have been at Francesca's. And yes, hers was smaller. Something may happen in the future. But
no,
not even we know where Kate and Anthony went. We know where Kate and Anthony went. Yes, why would they travel on a boat for 3 months while she's pregnant? Beyond me.
No, I don't like
some of those ways they were doing
do that.
They were stretching it a bit.
Yeah,
like at least in a way, it's like okay.
I did think it was tender though.
It was so tender.
That's one of my favorite scenes. Like it doesn't really make any sense, but like being like, let's go. I don't know.
I thought I couldn't love you anymore.
Yeah, it's just that whole
no
scene
notes.
was so cute.
When they're there, they're really there.
They're really there. They give.
They were giving it every single way.
Is amazing.
Their chemistry, the banter, but also just like them not having drama.
Anthony being the silliest goose.
So fucking fun. Everything he said, even when it honestly wasn't worded, sent me to the moon.
Let's think about the first season Anthony. And then that Anthony. What was going on? That was Jonathan Bailey.
They were like, Jonathan Bailey just said, fuck it. Being competitive at the game night, screaming from the rooftops in the carriage. Like,
he's like, even just him like cuddling her in the robe. I don't know. It just looked very like, I don't know. I'm like, okay.
It's just kind of fun.
She's
like, I'm fun now.
Yeah, I'm fun now.
I don't give a shit.
He's giving like.
That is something. Oh, just thinking about their book.
I'm less bitter.
Another thing that like they didn't get, it's similar with like Colin and his writing and his like personality. They never made it a big deal, and as big of a deal in the show is the reason why Anthony is so against marriage is because of his dad dying.
Yeah.
And they do allude to that, but it's just like there's so many like deep character personality things that just I feel like are like watered down.
Yeah.
In the things.
Because it's Cocoa Melon.
Yeah, it's just Cocoa Melon. Like, la, la, la. That was them. Watching them felt like Cocoa Melon.
No, literally, I was like, I love this.
Their game nights. Oh my god. And then I loved all of Kate's scenes with the other Bridgertons, like Lady Bridgerton, Eloise, Colin, like her being like, Colin, get a fucking grip, and then Anthony's like asides and that. Like, our marriage doesn't work. That's so good.
Funny.
And then her and Gregory of like him, like Gregory going like, I'm a brother too. Like I'm the like, and she was like, you're the man of the house. You have to agree.
So
like she was hyping him up. She wanted him to have all his favorite treats. And apparently, spoiler for the books, Gregory names his first kid after her.
Aw,
that's cute.
Tender. I can't imagine him as older.
We can't even talk. We don't have to worry about that for another 30
don't
years.
worry. We don't have to wait to worry for another. That's crazy.
Yeah, Kate and Anthony were perfect. Obviously, I feel like the theme is, I'm going to stop saying it now. Obviously, more would be more. But, like, what they got was so lovely.
Yeah.
My only complaint is, my true complaint is there was not enough Newton. He had 2 scenes.
He had 2 scenes.
But you know what? I'll take it.
But
I'm glad he was there.
them.
He was serving. He's the Bridgerton heir.
But he's also a pervert.
So true. I wish we knew what the babies were named.
Then in part 1, we did. Anthony's like whispering all the time and just so clingy.
Mm.
and then in the second part, he's just like goofy as hell. I'm like, this.
He's like, that man oversteps talking to our mother. He was either really stern. That's another thing in the book, though. He did kind of like, he was really concerned about like Colin and Penelope's engagement. He was like, what? He was so concerned in the show. He was like, and why?
He's like, why?
What'd you do to her? Benedict is like, LOL. Benedict is like, this is cute.
Take him down. Okay.
I'm like checking things off. We talked about them. We talked about them. Who do you decide the rest of
Benedict.
this? Benedict down.
That was storyline is so like, huh?
It's honestly crazy because it's like, are we doing another scene where another season where Benedict like kind of has a subplot, but it's like he doesn't know what's going on. And then season 1, you're like, oh, is Benedict? And then they're like, nah, he just like supports it. He's just an ally.
He's just an ally.
He just keeps it
He's
to
a really
himself.
good ally, and he likes to party.
And then like part 2 comes around. I'm like, oh, he's just gonna mess around with this woman the whole time.
Yeah.
And then in the trailer, it makes it look like she has another man. You're like, oh, damn, poor Benedict.
But no,
that as soon as she meant, like, the way she mentioned the man, I was like,
no, everything that was happening, and then
everything.
the candlelight dinner, and then the eye contact, like, there's like, no other.
It was like my brain was at war because I was like, I don't think they're gonna go there, but everything was giving that they were gonna go there. So I was like, what's happening? Are they gonna do this but not do this? And everyone's gonna be like,
huh?
The craziest bait of all time. Unless we're all just reading into it, but it was clearly not something you read into. It was crystal vision was crystal clear.
Yeah.
And then they did it.
And they did it. They got. And he's confirmed pansexual. Apparently.
Oh, slay.
Yeah.
That makes sense for him.
I said slay, and
Stop saying slay challenge.
I'll never stop saying slay. It's been like how many...
It's just like my filler word for now.
Slay.
Serve. I hear the kids are saying
but her
serve.
just being like, I want this to be more, and then him being like, I don't think I want to.
Yeah. So this
but
is
then
where
that makes it's confusing.
So this is where I'm really confused. I'm going to say something bold right here. Right now, it's in the moment we're filming this. It's the day after Bridgerton Part 2 came out. So you're seeing this a week after. Maybe we'll hear something before then. Mm-hmm. Probably not. I feel like we have at least a few more weeks.
We have a few more weeks.
We don't know who the lead is for season 4.
For sure.
In this moment, for sure. We don't really know for sure. But I'm going to sit here and say, I think it's going to be Benedict.
Yeah, like...
I feel most confident in that.
It felt like Benedict.
There was a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
We will talk about in a second. But it is interesting to have him end this season going, I don't know if I'm like...
Yeah.
If I want to settle down. Of course you can change your mind.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting to put him in that position where that could switch really quick. Unless that's his whole arc of season 4.
Because we don't know.
Figuring that out. Because we don't really know for sure.
Because we literally don't know for sure about anything.
At the end of the day, we don't know shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's an interesting storyline. Of just like his choice
really
to be like, I don't really know if I want to settle
Sure.
down. Which honestly makes sense because like all 3 seasons, you're like, okay,
He
what is
likes
Benedict?
to be a little...
He's just kind of floating around. And that's what makes me think that another reason it needs to be a season next week. So what are they going to make him float around for a 4th time after skipping him already?
He has to float around more.
Nah, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. I will be...
No, don't worry. Eloise is coming back for the masquerade.
That's another, like, obviously piece. If you know, you know. We'll get into it more when we get to the spoiler section. But it's got to be Benedict. But what killed me is, like, I'm so on board with his storyline and him and his bitches having the blast. But it cracked me up the way that Colin is haggard on the couch. He can't sleep. Cut to Benedict threesome. Like,
Threesome!
So funny. Like, good for him, but it's hilarious. The contrast of, like, Eloise and Portia and Penelope and Colin are freaking, like, they're losing their minds.
It's literally
and Nick's like,
a whole thriller.
1, 2, 3.
And then it's back to them all.
And I'm caught in between. Like, slay. I don't know why there wasn't an orchestral version of that.
1, 2, 3.
Like, good for him. Like, that's so exciting. And, like, felt like a really, like, they built up to it in a way where it, not that it can't come out of nowhere, but, like, everyone kind of felt that from him. And they like, made it happen. And I'm like, let's go.
They did that.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
What else we got? Shout out to, we already kind of talked about Violet. Violet's storyline. I love this season. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's side storyline kind of ate.
Yeah, I was interested in everything.
I don't know if we were talking about this. If we got to watch Queen Charlotte, I know it's a shame that we haven't.
I think I need
So I don't
to.
think we can talk too much about like the in-depth, but obsessed with her and Lady Danbury's friendship. Female friendship all around this season.
Yeah.
Such a positive version of, especially like like older adult female friendship, and she was like, all that matters to me is you. I will choose my brother, or choose you over my brother. I ain't losing you over no man.
Slay.
It's like, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But then, even then, the Rizzler of the season, I hate to
Not
say it,
the Rizzler of
Lord
the
Anderson I felt rizzed up on her behalf. It's like, get it, Violet. And her dancing for the first time in probably 10 years?
Yeah.
Good for her.
But I love Lady Danbury just keeps sending bitches in.
Just sending widows. So funny.
So funny.
So good.
Yeah, we did need to watch that because I'm still like not 100%.
I feel like they were
we get like
alluding to things.
we get big like their whole relationship when they're younger.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. We can do that maybe later this year.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I'm down.
Locked and
loaded.
loaded.
I gotta see more of my queen, of course.
Yes, the queen. She's
cunty
always
as
fun.
hell.
I feel like
She walks in and judges everyone.
She loves her chess game with Lady Whistledown. That's how Danbury was kind of standing up for Penelope in a way where maybe she didn't realize it with the chess game.
Yeah.
So I'll take that as a crumb.
Lady Danbury.
Should we talk about... Yeah, I'm crossing out all the people we've talked about.
Are we at Francesca?
Yeah.
And John?
Oh, we have to be careful what we say.
Okay, ready?
Yes, you go. You got this.
I don't know if I do. Okay, first of all, I have to start out with saying that Francesca and John were so real for when they're just sitting in silence.
Yes.
I'm like, that's real. That's how I'm trying to be for real.
Finally, representation for bitches who don't want to look at another bitch.
No, they just sitting there smiling, and I'm like, this is so true.
Bitches who don't want to be
Bitches who don't want to talk. No,
love them.
But I thought that was so cute. And oh my god, how do I not?
Honestly, I'm like, should we wait to the end to talk about them in
I know,
depth?
I'm like, wait, how do I not?
I think the casting of her was great. I know it was like kind of a bummer what like the other actress was unable to like return. But I loved her. Part of me wants to...
I loved her, and people were being mean to her. Well, people were saying she has a TikTok face. And I'm like, she literally has been in other period pieces, and she looks very... Like,
I literally can
get away from
like
her.
I don't know. Again, why do we need to be negative about anything, especially real people?
I know.
Oh my god.
I loved Francesca.
She was great. Part of me wants to. Another reason I want to rewatch the first 2 seasons is because of Francesca's barely in it, but I'm like curious if like her characterization is the same because she like was very like quaint and quiet and reserved and and I'm like, was that what she was giving in the first 2 seasons? I don't remember.
Because she shot up. I mean, we got more of her, of course, but like she shot up in like my ranking from like from part 1. Like
she's great.
I think she's a relatable queen.
I know. I would love to see her have one-on-one scenes with other Bridgertons because I'm thinking about it. Like she has group scenes with them, but I want to see like her relationship. Peace and yeah, which is fair, but I would love to see her like. I mean, I'm sure now her and Eloise will be really close from going to Scotland together.
But the little scene with Penelope and Francesca in the first.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
Part, yeah,
I remember. I wrote that down. I was like, yes. Yeah, I love that. Wait, sorry, this is completely unrelated, but I want to make sure I say it before I forget. When Penelope's talking to, I think, Genevieve, the modiste, and she's like, you're just a girl. Like, about her being whistled down. I was like, yeah, she's just a girl!
She's just a girl.
Sorry, that's an aside.
She's Lady Whistledown. She's just a girl.
Yeah, I love them.
Gossip.
I love them. Can't even be mad about there being a double wedding this season because...
Can't even be mad about that double
Francesca
wedding.
and John.
Wait. Another one. Part of my favorite moments is Eloise. John comes in for Francesca and Eloise hides behind her.
I'm here for your daughter.
I love Eloise so much.
She's so funny. So funny. Oh my god. So simple, but so effective. Yeah, they were so... And he didn't even know her name. He came for her just from sitting in silence for her. That's true fucking love. Yeah. And him worrying that the Lady Bridgerton doesn't like him and him getting drunk with the boys. I was like, yes, male friendship.
With the boys.
Romances. Like, let's go. I feel like they did such a good job with some of the side relationship this season. Like, I was fed and I only just, again, want more, but...
Drunk with the boys.
I have to really quickly talk about the mondriches because... what's his name? Will. He was the Duke's friend. So it's kind of like they're just there.
Yeah.
And like they're giving them storylines, but I'm like, but what is this adding to the rest of the
What is this doing?
I feel like everything else was working together to build
They
something.
they have the sun.
And they all ended up somewhere. All they did was they got rich and had to give up the bar that he loved so much.
I know. They just had to totally lose their character and who they are. Because they're thrown into this house.
That's my thing, because, like, I don't want to complain about them. I think they're lovely. When they have cute moments, I'm like, oh, their little kid, like, their son hanging out with Hyacinth the Gregor, like, oh. But I'm like, okay, what are they bringing to the table, though? Because everything else was, like, it connected.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then where did they end up at the end of the season? Like, everyone, something happened at the end of the season.
Like, and they didn't
They're just there. And I get that they don't want to just, like, probably cut them. But I'm like, I'm rooting for them. But I'm also like,
them, but also,
I'm going to need a reason.
I'm going to need more.
That's what I have to say about them. But I enjoy them.
Yeah.
And I think we'll talk about Fran and John more in a second. But we've talked about Portia having a slay arc this season.
A slay arc.
Having some of the funniest lines. I loved it the first episode, even though she's being awful. And she was like, oh, I look forward to you taking care of me as we grow older. Like, she has no faith in Penelope.
She's like, oh, I can't.
It's crazy. And then all her interactions with Lady Bridgerton, I hope that continues. We see them being like grandmothers together.
And the other two.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
The insert himself scene. Top 5 scene, I hate to say. I fear.
They ate this season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I actually enjoyed them so much, and they gave them depth. Like, Philippa was kind of just, like, silly, goofy, but, like, Prudence's, like, storyline of, like, kind of starting to realize, like, how toxic her family is and feeling, like, left out because now Penelope's getting the attention. And then being happy they had their ball, and Penelope used their money. And I love their husbands. They're just fucking himbos.
And you know what? That's okay.
And that's all you need. What more gonna go
At the end of the day, when you just
those
need that.
Featherington girlies got their fucking himbos.
And they're down bad for them. And that's what they deserve.
Penelope, too. Like, Colin is right there with them.
Colin's a himbo,
Just
too.
a bunch of himbos for the Featheringtons.
Just a bunch of himbos.
The race for them. I was questioning if they were actually pregnant all season, but I guess they were. I knew that they would, if they were pregnant, they were having girls, and Penelope was having the boy.
Yeah.
That's the Featherington era, baby.
Classic.
Unnamed Bridgerton child. Also, Kate Anthony's child, unnamed Bridgerton child.
Unnamed.
Like, you couldn't even give us a name. Are you waiting for something? What are you waiting for? I get Kate Nancy's, again, happened off screen. Jesus fucking Christ. But they couldn't even tell us his name. Like, why?
Yeah. What are you hiding?
Just try not to make it about them. I don't know.
They're like, they had too much.
Did you see that people were like, oh my god. Their last, like, shot of them kissing in front of the window, it's like, that's the window she's been, like, looking out of her whole life. And then they kiss in front of it. Because she's Penelope Featherington, or Bridgerton. And she's out and about.
And she's
public
openable.
Gossip columnist.
When after Penelope, like, does her little speech thing, and then her sister goes, bugs.
She's like, it's okay, guys. And it's butterflies. It's like beautiful.
Bugs. That's beautiful.
Also, they're like maids, Varley, and I don't know what the other one that was like low key, like getting Penelope and Colin together, even though they were unchaperoned. Like allies. Obsessed with them. Icons. So good.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. No notes for the Featheringtons this season. Flawless.
And that last ball 8.
Yes. That's why I was like, okay, if that's how the show ended with their like that ball, not their wedding, fine. But I would have loved for them to have been like reconciled at their wedding, even though Yellow played, even though You Belong With Me played, and they danced. You Belong With Me, the Friends Lovers anthem. They crushed it with the music, I think, in part 2.
Yeah, part 2 is so much better.
Like, I liked the songs in part 1, but like,
but they weren't using them right. They did better in part 2.
100%.
They only got Pitbull. They only nailed Pitbull.
They nailed. The Pitbull song has only no fans. I'm dead. Yeah, I feel like that's what I got aside from the future tease. Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think we covered.
Let me check. All right,
but we have to talk about
yeah, basically the last like 10 minutes.
Spoil.
Okay, so if you're still listening,
if you're still here,
we're gonna spend probably the next 5 minutes talking about things that you will only know if you know the books, and if you don't want to know the books, then you don't have to listen. But thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Love you like a sister.
Love you like a sister.
All right, we have to talk about
Francesca.
Okay. Her first scene this season being her playing the funeral march on the piano. Insane. And then you know what? I did go check. Penelope and Colin's priest does not go, you're now pronounced husband and wife to your dying breath. He only says that. during John and Francesca's wedding. Because if you know, you know. That man is a ticking time bomb. That man is on borrowed time.
Oh my god.
I don't know how it happens.
Wait,
I just know.
You don't know how?
I don't know how. I just know they're only married.
I just know he's out.
They're only married for 2 years.
Okay. Oh no.
So.
Not foreshadowing.
As soon as because she was meeting people, I was trying to clock that because all I really knew was his name, and that she is widowed, because I think she is widowed in Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. He has already passed away by the time.
I found all this out by a TikTok comment. It was like, "Wow, Francesca's a widow." I was like, "God damn, what the fuck?"
Yeah, I feel like I saw things, and then I think her husband was already dead in the book I read. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I read the book at the speed of light. I read it too fast. Where I was watching a show,
You're like,
I was like,
"Huh?
Did this happen?" Another thing, really quickly about the book that happened in the show differently, is they talk about when Colin and Penelope first met, and it's Penelope recounting it, but they had Colin bring it up himself in this, which I think is a good. I feel like they did a lot to boost showing how Colin really.
Yeah, they really did need to do that.
Yeah,
and they did. Love you, Colin.
Love you.
Me and Colin are like
Wait,
this.
you have to speak about Colin really quickly.
Okay, well, I have some beef with Colin.
Okay.
And I couldn't even really tell you why.
We'll come back to Francesca.
I just started roasting Colin.
I'm gonna forget to make you talk about Colin.
I remember Megan was getting so excited for this because she read the book.
Yeah, and I said, saw Luke and Nicola
on
red carpet.
Excited, and I was like,
I'm gonna forget to make you talk about Colin.
I remember Megan was getting so excited for this because she read the book.
Yeah, and I said, saw Luke and Nicola
on red carpet. Excited, and I was like, Colin, because I just I've never connected to Colin because he's kind of the Nick Jonas. And we all know how I feel about Nick Jonas.
If you don't know, Bree's beef with Nick Jonas is her story.
It's her story, and now I can't help but look at him and think of Nick Jonas.
Poor Colin.
But yeah, the first part, I was like, okay, Colin.
Yeah.
And he winks.
Yeah, but even that's part of his character. That's not him. He was trying to be someone he wasn't.
He
was trying to be someone he wasn't. He was going to the tavern.
And he's like...
That certainly didn't happen in the book.
He's like, I have to go travel.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
runs
That's
away
him.
everybody.
That's him. Why, you love travel.
We're really twin flames.
He's a writer and he likes to travel.
Okay, listen. Let me have it. That's Nick Jonas.
No.
Okay. But I
using jealous by Nick Jonas though, even if it was the wrong moment.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they should have done better with that though.
But it was a good choice for the song.
But the second part,
it's all coming out. I
actually still hate him. He did grow on me a little, and I saw myself going, "Aww," at them.
He loves her so much.
And I just want the best for my Penelope.
Yeah. And she loves him so much.
And Nick Jonas is here.
They love... The amount of times they said I love you, I think that's something I like about them in comparison to other couples. It's just the words of affirmation off the
that's your thing.
Yeah. He had a lot to say.
Words of affirmation.
And I like what Nicola kept saying. It's every season seems to have a theme, and it's the first season is passion, the second was yearning, and this was romance, until they hated each other for a second. Not hated, but...
Yeah.
And I felt it was really romantic, him showing her the house. They just gave a lot of stuff that we unfortunately didn't get as much of in the first few seasons.
Yeah.
And that Kate and Anthony deserve. I think, that's the thing is, where certain couples are missing out, I feel I wish they all had the time to have their, big wedding and, see their kids and get all these moments that I'm hoping we'll still see Kate and Anthony have moments in big or small ways, and Penelope and Colin. And I'm honestly manifesting that we somehow see the Duke and Daphne again. Phoebe said she'd come back at some point.
Let Phoebe come back.
And if this show ends without ever seeing the Duke again, I'll be bummed. And I just feel he could manage a day.
No, he doesn't have a day.
Reggae Jean Page, I'm on your side, buddy. I'm not here to disrespect you. I think that you...
I'm not...
Listen.
Don't worry, my cat's on your side.
Okay, sorry. Continue talking about Colin.
What else do you want me to say about Colin? No, but me and Colin, maybe Colin and Eloise were the ones who were close,
yeah.
But yeah,
that's what's a bummer, because that's what I've been hearing is that because I've only read, he's pretty silly goofy, but like they changed a lot of their characterization to like give more of that to Benedict.
Yeah, just like you have Anthony in the first season being like dueling, and I was like, that's funny, and then him yearning, and I'm like, Anthony, and then Benedict's just being goofy ass kid, party bitch.
Colin's is just a sweet
Smoking
boy.
on the swings
He
with
loves
Eloise.
his mom. He
So
loves
that's
his
my
family. He
vibe.
loves his siblings. He brought them all back gifts.
And he comes back again and goes,
Not too much on Eloise, but her being like, well, I'm already reading a book. It's like, okay, then read that next.
no.
She's like,
I'm reading Emma.
he was like,
No, icon.
I mean, she's so real. But I was like, okay, put it on your shelf. Take the book.
Nah.
I said, Colin is trying.
No.
I love him. He's such a sweetheart. He was trying to be someone he wasn't because Penelope wasn't writing him back. That's what he kept saying. He's like, all I was waiting for was Penelope to send me a letter. And then you see him have every letter she's ever wrote him. Like, he has been in love the whole fucking time. He's just stupid.
He's just kind of stupid. And that's why he's giving Nick.
No, not Colin. I think we need to rebrand.
Eloise couldn't accept the book because they had to show that she was trying.
She was reading.
But then,
sorry, she was reading a book that paralleled the season
Benedict.
also.
Okay, well, Benedict and Eloise on the swing,
Yeah.
and Benedict being like,
Consistent.
"There, she like you're back." Like,
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's why I was like,
the
which one of you is
swing-
it? Which one of you's next?
wait, who is it? They're the swing. Honestly, duo.
I would take a dual season.
I think a dual season,
especially if
of
it meant
them.
like, yeah, and get them fucking out
I
faster.
love them.
Yeah, obsessed.
I get them.
I would imagine something's got to overlap next season. Okay, let's get back
Something's
to the point.
gotta give.
The point.
Okay,
which
back
is
to Francesca.
Francesca.
Back
Okay,
to
so
spoilers.
sweet poor John. We were like, we'll talk about spoilers for 5 minutes, and we talked about the show again.
I never got to talk about Colin, so I got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Now we have to go back to the
I know.
spoilers.
I took a lot of time talking about Colin. Sorry, I was taking up too much space. I had to share the space.
Well, you had to share the book. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
the
I just really had to tell you the tea because it was crazy. Like just like in your head going, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and then I'm like, oh no, he's gonna be mad. Anyway,
Anywho.
yeah, sweet John,
and then in the book, Francesca marries Michael.
I don't know in
Gets
which
together
that
with
happened. I don't
Michael.
know the tea. Like obviously they fall in love in our endgame somehow. I don't know if that is like through a betrothal first.
The cousin,
The cousin, Michael Sterling.
which that's drama.
So we knew that a Michael Sterling was coming. There's been all this fan casting. And then this scene was insane. I feel like I have to break it down second by second. Because like him coming over and being like, you need to meet someone. I was like, this could be 13 people. Because I was like, oh, they could be bringing in
13
Sophie.
people.
He could be, I don't know, Benedict's love interest. Like it could have been a couple people. Because part of me in my head was like, it's too soon to even acknowledge that there's a cousin. But then he started saying cousin. I'm like, we're going to see who they casted as this fucker. And then a woman shows up, and then I went, oh, maybe it's not. Because then this woman people thought was casted as Sophie.
Yeah.
So my head, like, the way my head was like a tornado. Of, like, trying to consume what is happening in this moment. And then they go, Michaela.
I just saw, and I immediately knew that was his
Right, like,
because I knew it
clicked.
was Michael Sterling.
It clicked.
Michaela Sterling.
Crazy.
The Lulu people on Twitter are like, maybe that's her. Maybe that's Michael's sister. I'm like, okay.
I haven't seen that.
I'm like, okay, hold on. What?
Yeah, these people
really-
on Twitter, the people that tweeted that are infighting about couples in general, and then the peoples that are going a little too hard for this
They're
are a reason why I'm about
hard
to
for
delete my
Michael.
account.
No, literally.
I will say, I don't think it's not valid to be a little bummed. Because if you read a book and you connect with it, like...
But I don't know. Like, they said they're going to try hard to keep a lot of the themes.
Mm-hmm.
It could still be just as intense, but, like, it's just a different gender. Like, it's really not that big of a deal if you think about
I
it.
think people that are, like, genuinely angry and are, like,
I haven't seen so much
being
hate. I usually
toxic.
don't see the hate, but I'm seeing it now. Usually I just see people talking about the hate, but I'm
Right.
seeing people be so... Ugh.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say is, like, I get this moment of, like, especially because, like, if it was your favorite book and now it's going to be a little different, like, I get it. Because, like, if I had a book that I loved and they twisted it in any kind of way, I'd be like, damn, like, I was looking forward to seeing a true adaptation. I get it, but I think, like you said, people are going really hard about it. I know that people are going to be saying shit to real people.
Like, they already struggle with racism on the show. Now they're going to struggle with homophobia.
It's not only a black character, it's a black woman. Like,
yeah, I'm like, protect her.
I know. That's like some people are saying is that
both of them.
In a way, it was like a risky choice just because of the hate that she's going to get, which sucks. Mm-hmm. I still think it's a great choice because, like they were saying, people, there's 8 fucking books. It'd be really cool to show some representation.
The likeliness of them all being, like, even in the 1800s, of them all being truly in love with someone and none of them swing the other way, like, it's kind of, like, not that likely, like, to be, and did I think it was going to be Francesca? No. But am I into it?
But,
and
like,
I think it's, like,
we were kind of saying this, it feels like a really cool way to explore that, because they were saying, like, her love for John does not change based on this. I will say my one critique, and honestly I think it could be amended depending, like, I'm kind of jumping ahead too much, is that I haven't read the book, so maybe I'm completely wrong, is that, like, she doesn't have romantic feelings at all for Michael until after John is gone. So, like, her reaction, and I get it was probably just to show, like, the sexuality thing about it, but, like, I was kind of, like, rubbed the wrong way of, like, her reacting to her. Because I'm like, okay, I don't want her to, like, have feelings for her while she's still with him. Because I want that relationship to be its own thing and then not overlap once we get to, like, once we get to that, let's fucking go. But I think as long as we get to that season, it isn't like she's casting her longing looks while John's still around, I'll be fine. But in that moment, I was like, oh, I didn't want her to, like, react. Yeah, let's let John have a full story first.
Yeah, apparently in the book, Michael falls first. So, like, this was showing Francesca, but then Francesca has the scene with her mom, like, and her mom not, like, when I saw your dad, I couldn't talk, I couldn't speak. Like,
oh yeah, I didn't
in the second part, I feel like I thought they were cute. I mean, that she could definitely still be totally in love with him and stuff, but, like, it could also be possible that she doesn't know.
She's not clocking that it's romantic.
Yeah, that, because she's like, I want to be with him and learn more about myself in the quiet. Like, she like, is talking about learning about herself or something. And then her mom's clocking that they're not as, like, passionate, which, like, I don't think everyone has to be passionate, but, like, I don't know which way, I don't know what her sexuality is, but, like, I'm, like, wondering if that love isn't
like romantic
love. It's just, like, but, like, I don't know. Yeah. Because, like, it is, like, because she, like, right, standing next to
that was my only
John
thing.
Is looking at someone else.
I know, because I feel like that's something people love, both of those relationships, and I think you can gender bend and, like, tweak the second one, and again, not a problem, but, like, I just hope they still honor that first relationship, however it, like, progresses and turns into. Like, I'm open to seeing that, but that's my only concern, is, like, I just don't really want it to be, like, an overlapping type of thing. And I would still love it to be, like, romantic love. Again, who knows, though? I think that's a good point, because I didn't think about it.
Yeah, the mom saying that, because, like, in the first part, I was like, oh, this is cute. In the second part, I was like, I'm, like, not, like, they didn't kiss till the wedding. They, like, aren't that, I mean, maybe they just aren't showing a lot, but, like, and then her mom is like, when I met your dad, I couldn't get my name out. And then she meets Michaela and is like,
it's a good parallel.
And I was like, damn.
I know. I just have the mixed of, like, oh, I don't want to overlap, but we'll see. Like,
and now I have mixed emotions about reading the book.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to do that, but I don't know. But good thing we're not getting this season till 2030.
I know, we don't have to fucking rush anything. We have plenty of time to think about it. I think in general, though, I'm skeptical of reading the books now, just because I don't want to, like, have false hope for certain things, even without, like, it doesn't even have to do with the gender. It's just, like, I don't want to get attached to, like, a certain storyline and then they have to develop it. Yeah, I think not even just for them, for Eloise, for Benedict, whoever.
I thought Eloise was going to be the gay one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
I mean,
jury's still out.
The jury,
We don't really know.
I guess we really don't know.
Oh, sure.
But I'm like, damn, people are going to be so mad about Philip because people do ride for Eloise and Philip.
People ride so far both ways. I've never seen more people split because there are people that ride or die for her and Theo who we didn't even see this season. So people are like, his middle name is going to be Philip.
Theo was kind of cute, but like,
They
we
were
didn't get like that much of.
Yeah, like people are like, we have to change
that
everything.
much of them.
I think depending on how they do the Philip thing, it could be really cute. That's why. Okay, so her going to Scotland made me go, does he live in Scotland? How are we gonna get this? Are they gonna meet and then start corresponding through letters? That's all I know about her book is that they correspond through letters.
Yeah.
And they're a pen pal like love story.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So I'm like, maybe they're building up to that somehow.
Yeah.
I think in this moment though, Benedict has the most legs because we gotta let Francesca and John be together for a while before he kicks it. Rest in peace,
Rest
King.
in peace. That's just the edits of people make it. It's like,
Lost of my life.
Lost of my life. I'm like,
That's when I was like, I'm in.
I'm like,
okay,
what's
the
going
one thing I
on?
also will say is I did have to mourn for a second the fan casting of Keeter,
Oh, yeah.
what's his name, from Sex Education. Like,
Yeah, we're like, oh, it's gonna be this
and I
guy
was
from
like,
Sex Education.
pumped. And it's not even the fact that it's not a man, it's just him specifically. I'm like, oh, he would have served. We'll have to get him in there somehow. Or like, let's put him in a rom-com. Like, where is he?
Where
cast
is
this
he?
man in something. Shonda, make a new show.
Why was he at the garden?
Yeah, see, exactly.
He's gonna pop up.
I was so delulu about that. That's when I had to be like, okay, let me take
People
a second.
are delulu about so many different things.
And sometimes it happens,
And then-
sometimes it doesn't. We've
I'm
learned that.
shocked.
Shocked. So I think it'll really I can't even pass judgment on anything. I'm excited to see where it
Because
goes.
we really don't know anything.
Shut up! Take a shot every time we say that, you'd be dead.
This is what people need to remember when watching this show. We
don't really know.
For sure.
We need a hat that says that.
Because, like, again, this is, oh, and then another thing I need to say
Yes.
is I don't think this show, people are complaining about the historical accuracy, of course. And I don't think Bridgerton is a show that's trying to do much with historical accuracy. Like, let's be for real right now.
We're supposed to be having fun.
Care about that when there's like a gay person.
Yeah, I got it. You gotta
Like-
get yourself checked.
Like, hold on.
The scene at the end when Penelope and Colin are in bed, they're like, okay, Penelope has and people are worried about historical accuracy.
And then, like,
that one is so specific though that it cracked me up.
The Queen's wig with the thing spinning it. I don't think we're Pitbull Orchestra.
Everything.
I don't think we're worried about
Everything.
that.
It's like,
I don't think
everyone-
this is Coco Melon.
It's supposed to be Coco Melon.
like,
and sometimes Coco Melon's gay.
and sometimes
Get
Coco
over
Melon
it.
is a little gay. Like, get over it.
Get over it.
Just,
And I've been seeing the comparison of like people reacting to Benedict versus reacting to Francesca.
Yeah.
The only thing I could really say about that is I feel like if they did gender swap Sophie, people would also be annoyed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I guess we don't know for sure.
we don't really know.
But like again,
For
if
sure.
maybe like you're saying Francesca will be bisexual, maybe she'll be a lesbian. We don't know for sure. I should say, if you guys don't know what we're referencing, I'm so sorry. But if you do, I'm so sorry for beating it with a dead horse.
No.
But if it is like bisexual or pansexual, like Benedict, it is, I think, good representation of that to
Yeah.
if they keep Sophie as a woman, of like a bisexual can be with someone of the opposite gender or pansexual,
Yeah.
or someone of the same gender, both still valid
Yeah.
in their sexuality. So I think that could be a cool.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure. But then I also have to call out the people who are so open to Benedict being, and then coming from my Francesca, like being taken back and complaining about historical accuracy. But when Benedict does it, it's fine.
He does it with the woman and the man at the same
With the woman and
time.
man at the same
Well,
time.
Colin's ripping his
Well,
hair out on
fuck
on the chase.
like,
On the chase lounge.
So for real right now. And, like, if you're gonna say shit, at least like be a little better at being consistent with your thoughts.
Yeah, it's like, I know what you are, and it's homophobic. I think that's a little homophobic,
I think that's
man.
a little homophobic, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy.
I know, it's
Slay.
exciting.
Eloise, you're next.
Just kidding. It's a threat.
No, you know who I really thought was gonna be gay?
Cressida?
Yes, and I thought Eloise wasn't going to be. Like,
Yeah.
well, I kind of was like, oh, maybe, but then I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But I was really thinking Cressida would be because living or being with what's the first guy? the Penelope was with?
Oh, fuck. Debling. We didn't talk
And
about
he
our
would be
vegetarian
gone.
king.
He'd be gone a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted.
Right. Yeah. She honestly just needs to get the fuck out of
She
there.
just needs to run away.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was thinking too, because I saw somewhere at some point that they were like, oh, there'll be a queer character this season.
So I was thinking
was
all
like-
these different things, and then that shook me to my core. And
Benedict
honestly,
and
I'm
Fran.
glad it shook me to my core, because
Yeah.
that's what I needed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's so much to
Not know
look
what's
forward
coming.
to on this show that like everyone should just be riding for each season.
We just
And
gotta
having a blast.
stick together.
Just gonna hold hands.
We don't know.
For
Oh my
sure.
God.
Oh, this show's so fun.
Yeah, but I can't believe 2 years.
That better be a fucking joke.
They need to like,
If they're not gonna give us a 22 episode season.
no, literally.
Okay, really quick though, yeah.
need it back.
I think we think Benedict's next. They said the masquerade thing, but from what I understand in the book, masquerade happens and then a year goes by before he sees her again. So if we're waiting a year for the masquerade, and then like he's supposed to see her after, that would mean he needs 2 more seasons.
Well,
But I'm hoping they change that detail and it's like, oh, he sees her at the masquerade and we just keep fucking
And we just
going.
keep it
like,
going,
we don't
'cause
need
we don't
a
have time for
jump.
this.
If Colin and Penelope got married in 3 years instead of 10, then we don't need that.
time is a constraint.
Yep, it's a construct.
It's a construct, yeah.
Yep.
And this
So
show-
I think it's got to be him. Like part of me was like hoping the masquerade would happen this season. Like the last ball would be a masquerade, but no one was in masks in the
No one
trailer.
was
So I said, I
wearing-
guess that's not happening.
No
Unless
one
they
was-
really kept
was
that on
serving
lock.
Joey Parker.
Okay, go to last week's pod for Joey Parker teas.
For Joey Parker teas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Benedict.
Yeah, I'm feeling Benedict.
Cinderella story, baby. That's exciting. I'm
Should I read
excited
the
to
book?
see. So I'm like, should I or should I
I haven't read
not?
any books. Bridgerton.
You should maybe start with one of the seasons you already know,
That
like
we
read
know.
Kate and Anthony. I would recommend, and then tell me how shitty he actually is, because I blocked that out
Oh
apparently.
no,
Yeah. Was I telling you that or Julia?
me. I
Yeah.
remember you saying that.
Sucks.
That
Did I tell you why?
sucks.
Did I tell you about the scene?
Wait, no.
Apparently he like gets mad at her for not wanting to get down and dirty on their
Oh,
wedding
no.
night. I was like, I think I would remember that, but I guess not. I must have read
You
that at the
blocked that
speed of
out.
light. Oh, I was probably like,
You
"Ooh."
weren't actually reading these books.
It was like, yeah, I was just like, oh, they're cute.
Oh, that cute.
Zone out.
Zone out.
Anyway, should we lightning round? Epic highs and lows.
Lows.
Fave characters.
Eloise, Penelope, Francesca, and Kate and Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony. I was trying to say their names too.
I wrote POLIN, Eloise, and honestly, Portia by the end.
Okay, so
And of course, I wrote like Benedict, Francesca, Anthony. Like that goes without saying. But honestly, some moments for Portia and the Featheringtons.
honestly, that's my family.
Least favorite?
Cressida's parents.
That's why I wrote her dad. The mom's trying, but she's
The
not
mom's
trying hard
but
enough.
They weren't giving enough,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn.
Favorite moments?
Um,
I have Colin and Penelope happy 30 seconds. At least in the second half.
30 seconds. What do I have? These are so like out of order. Anthony in part 2. Why did I put that?
Yeah, the game scene was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, not Anthony, but Benedict and Hyacinth fighting over the chocolate macaroon and Gregory just taking
Yes!
them. And Benedict being so
Benedict's
upset.
like pissed.
He's like
He's
on
like
their
a little
level.
kid.
So like none of the three of them are getting married anytime soon.
That's why they're so unserious.
That's why they keep skipping Benedict.
They're gonna skip him again just
Yeah.
because of that. Francesca and John sitting in silence. Eloise hiding behind Gregory. I
That's
liked
a good one.
episode 5. Like, I loved the TikTok episode.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just
Her passing out at the
so
end.
good.
Fire.
Yeah, I'm like, this is television. Anthony's snuggling Kate. The throuple. Fam being fam.
Yeah. Any fan moment, to be honest.
Even though the wedding was kind of sad, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I liked yellow.
Yellow was
playing,
great.
And it was kind of nice. Just Eloise and Pen moments. And yeah, Michaela Sterling.
Fuck yeah, baby. Hell yeah, baby. Someone, it was like, ladies and gentlemen, my Michael Sterling, and it was like a fan cam of Jackson on, what's it called?
Well, I
Sex
saw
Education.
that.
And someone quoted it, they were like, well, ladies and gentlemen, Michaela
Sterling.
Sterling.
It was like,
That's me, basically.
oh, ladies and
Be like,
gentlemen.
all right, if you can't beat him.
This is
Once I mourned him, I was on board.
You had the more.
Jumping off the wedding, someone made an edit of like everyone's reaction to them being married, and like just like the zoom up on like Prudence and Philippa are really happy too. And we talked about the husbands, but like Finch specifically is obsessed with Penelope. I need more brother and sister love moments.
I also liked when they were like when they had to go to church and I liked Colin and Penelope look there.
Yeah, and their little dance.
I'll give him that.
Like dancing in the church where I'm gonna marry you in a few weeks. Although the time wasn't constructed in the show. They're like, we're getting married in 3 weeks.
No,
and like 2 days went by and they got married.
It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's Kokomo. Penelope's redemption, Portia redemption. Any scene with like Kate in the Bridgertons or Penelope in the Bridgertons. I said the chocolate macaroon scene. Yeah, I had a blast. Everything you said.
Yes.
I'll just say, jumping to my least favorite, I basically just said them being fighting for a portion of the last half of the season, especially during the wedding, which I talked about enough.
Yeah. I'm sleeping on the couch.
It's crazy. When he goes in and he looks at her, I was like, they could redeem themselves right now.
No, I thought something was going to happen. I thought this would be a good scene.
He fumbled the fucking bag. She looked fucking flawless.
She never looked better.
I was like, I was catching.
You're going to ignore that shoulder?
I was like, Colin, I'd go in there.
Colin, you're not going in. Come on.
In the candlelight, and he's like, I just need a blanket. I said,
okay,
you're a fucking wet blanket, you fucking bitch. I love you, but get a grip.
Get a grip. Stand up.
Stand up. Oh my God.
Do something.
When she was like on the couch in the morning, she's like, I'm leaving, and he kind of like sat up. I was like, run.
Okay, now do something. Yeah, he didn't run again. I'm like, okay.
Open your eyes, Lucas.
Open your fucking eyes, Lucas.
Oh my God.
Like, come on. Least favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Cressida's home life.
Yeah.
Just like especially like the older guy and like the kid.
Yeah. But I still want 8 kids.
Really. Ugh.
Bitch. A little late for that.
The girls fighting Eloise and Penelope.
Yeah.
Even though it's good, but I'm like, their longing looks.
They ate that shit up.
Those two have good chemistry too, like the actors, like
Claudia and Nicola.
Of them together, they're just, I love them.
I hope, whether it's an Eloise season or genuinely any of the seasons, I want like more happy Pen and Eloise moments in the future seasons.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, storyline flawless, but now that we're back together, I'm gonna need to be pumped full of that shit.
Let's just, and let them finish talking about what they're reading.
Yeah, let them talk.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Let them cook. Okay.
Wait, what did... I wrote one more and it's Colin winking.
I like when people use it in edits when it like edit like a moment. I've seen those too.
Brother.
There's an edit on YouTube of him to Gorgeous by Taylor Swift.
Gorgeous, and they go
ding ding.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And him going,
I may have to screen share later.
We are engaged.
We are engaged. Oh, that was I was like, I already said this. He could have been like, guys, we have some news.
No, it could have been anything else. I don't think he...
I think it's not your fault, baby. It's the writer's fault.
I think it's your fault, baby.
Pay the writers, but...
Pay the writers, but...
We don't pay them for that
shit. But don't pay them for that.
Well, I don't pay them. A rating out of 10. 10 being the most unseriesous the show could be. What would you rate it?
I said 7?
I said 6.
Okay.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
Just because, like, it's silly, goofy, but it's like a drama.
Like 10, yeah.
And sometimes they, like, dabble in some serious... Like, once we get to Fran's season, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up. The first... Like, we didn't talk about this. Well, actually, I won't say anything because we've entered the safe portion again. But, like, even without the John stuff, there's other just really sad stuff going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I feel like a 6.5, 7 is good because it has its silly moments, but it's drama at the end of the day.
But it's drama.
Yeah, and I eat it up.
But yeah.
Eat it for breakfast. Yum, yum.
Yum, yum. Would you recommend it?
I feel like, yes. I feel like there are people I wouldn't recommend it to, not because of the show, but because I don't know if the show is for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you just want to, like, truly just, like, a draw, like, to sink your teeth into something, it's mindless, it's cocoa melon.
It's literally, if you want some cocoa melon.
But it has some fucking tea. Especially now that we've, like, I feel like now that these 3 seasons have happened, I feel like seasons 1 through 3 have really been, like, a really great Penelope story. Mm-hmm. And I would honestly want to watch it from the beginning for several reasons, but just, like, have her story in full of, like, obviously the reveal of Whistledown and all that stuff, like...
Yeah.
What a great arc for her to be like. And we didn't talk about this, the transition of Julie Andrews' voice to hers.
Iconic.
And being like, Penelope Bridgerton. Like,
served.
Yay. So, I think so. Would you?
No.
Oh.
I just wouldn't recommend season 3. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I had the most fun this season.
I would recommend. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
In this economy?
I feel like I said, as a whole, like, I feel like if you like different couples, you'll enjoy that couple season more. But, like, adding everything together, like, everyone else's storylines and, like, average it out, I feel like I had the most fun as a whole with this season.
Yeah, because we know everyone better and there's just more. Yeah.
And I feel like, having Kate and Anthony together adds to that, too. Like, you get both couples at that point. Mm-hmm. You could have 3. Reggae John.
There's too many people. There's too many kids.
So I'm like, oh, fuck. No one's going to get anything next season. We gotta start killing them all.
We gotta start killing them all. We gotta shoot them in the alley.
Yeah. Okay, that was really specific.
Okay.
We didn't show off my stickers. We don't have to spend much time on it, but I just want to show their stickers, that picture.
Who is that?
Right next to call off your techno boy toy. I'll tell
Thank
your cops. I'll tell the cops what your mom keeps in the lasagna box.
Not your techno boy toy.
Okay. We're going to play a really quick speed round because this is almost a 2-hour pod. I jokingly was like, I'm going to need 2 hours. Yeah, if you need help, let me know. You need me to just stand there and listen to a person.
Just listen.
Okay, we're going to play a quick game of court, wed, or duel. Bridgerton edition. Can we just start with the one we already talked about, which I think is silly?
Okay.
I said, court, wed, duel, Lady Whistledown, Gossip Girl, or A.
Yeah, that's good. Court, wed, duel. I would duel. Okay, wait.
I don't think we need to spoil these shows, but I guess you can think about who Gossip Girl and A are.
Wed, Lady Whistledown.
Hell yeah.
I would court. I'm forgetting the words. Court.
Mm-hmm.
A.
Court, wed, duel. Yeah.
And I duel Gossip Girl.
I'm honestly inclined... Well, actually, I think I'd court Lady Whistledown, knowing who that is. I would marry A in season 3 of Pretty Little Liars.
Oh my gosh.
If you know, you know.
This is kind of working
and
around.
I will duel Gossip Girl themselves. That's all I have to say.
I'll duel Gossip Girl.
About that. XOXO.
Oh, Gossip
Girl. Okay, you can go.
Okay.
We'll do 3
Court,
each.
wed, duel.
Mm-hmm.
Colin, Anthony, Benedict.
I had that feeling about that. I kind of had the same thing, but I wrote Viscount, Duke, or Mr. Bridgerton. Colin, Anthony, and Benedict. This is really hard for me now. Duel.
These are Megan's favorite characters.
We don't have time for this, but
we don't have time for this.
I was like talking about, the blind ranks on TikTok, and I was watching one, and I was like, I think it's crazy if you don't put Colin, Benedict, and Anthony as the top 3. And Bree's like,
I was literally like,
okay.
What?
I was like, I mean, who else is there? Sure, the Duke.
Like,
sure, whoever.
You're dating a bunch of men.
And Bree was like,
I was literally like,
and then like we're in silence for a little while, and you were like, what about Penelope? And I was like, and then I had realized the lack of context in which I was watching a video where it was only the men, and Bree was thinking I was saying out of every single Bridgerton character that like the top 4 or 5 is like the 3 brothers, the Duke, and like other men.
I was like, God damn.
You were like, what about Penelope? And I was like,
what about my Penelope?
And we were like, we had sat there for a while, and you weren't like agreeing with me, so I was like,
no, I was just like, I was literally like,
it all made sense in the end.
It made sense. I'm like, oh, there's
because like out of the guys, I feel like these are the guys. And you can arrange them how you want. The Duke can go in there. Who else?
No, that would be, if I was on that filter, that would be my top 3, but I didn't know that filter was a thing.
Yeah.
I only knew the, like, whole the whole...
Mm-hmm. If I were doing it with that, I feel
gagged.
like... I feel like I usually go for those 3, and then, like, let's say 6. My ideal 6 would be those 3, Eloise, Pen, and Kate.
Yeah.
In some order. I feel like it depends on the day. And it's a blind rank, so you never know who comes next.
You never fucking know.
Okay. Fuck, man. I would...
You didn't answer.
Can I duel season 1 Anthony? And
Sure, buddy.
marry season 3 Colin? And court any version of Benedict?
Just court Benedict all
I have to make a choice or we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
I would marry any of them if this were real life. I'd be
thank
like,
God.
come call on me tomorrow.
You got a duel.
What would you do?
I would duel call.
I knew that was coming. Of course.
I would court Benedict, and I'd marry Anthony.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, if I'm only doing 2 more, I gotta make these good. Okay,
I'd kill Colin.
I like my, okay. Court wed duel, the plague, getting lost at sea,
Okay, hold the book on.
or getting stung by a bee.
Yes.
To death.
Bees. This all sounds awful. Okay, I would... Wait, what was the first one?
Getting the plague.
Oh my God, these are all awful.
And the plague doctor.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
I would marry getting lost at sea.
Ooh, interesting. That's when I duel because I'm so afraid of the water.
Oh yeah. I feel like I would duel the plague.
Uh-huh.
No, why? And
Yeah.
I'd no.
You would court the bee.
I would court the bees.
Yeah. I think I would duel the sea, court the plague, unfortunately,
This is
and
all
marry
awful.
the bee. Wasn't that a good one?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay.
That was way. That was way. Okay.
You were like, did you do all people? And I was like, no.
I was like, oh, did you?
Depends
do all
on how you
people? I'm like,
feel.
oh, we gotta okay, I have scenes.
Ooh,
So,
I like this.
the bee scene.
Kate and Anthony's.
Yeah,
This is good.
but 2 of them are Kate and Anthony.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, the carriage scene
Uh-huh.
and the bane of my existence scene.
Oh, this is Brie. Because, like, the Bane of My Existence is that Kate and Anthony scene.
That changed.
But
my
I
life.
love the bee scene.
Yeah,
because it's
I
just
love
like
the bee
his
scene, too.
concern for her. It's like such a good Anthony
That's a
character
scene
moment
I
because
rewatch
it's
a lot.
me too. And I remember it like in the trailer because I hadn't read the book yet, but I knew how important the bee scene was. So in the trailer, I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be so dramatic because he's freaking out over her, but they're not together." Like that's such a good trope of like he's pretending to hate her, but
He's
when
like,
she's in danger, he's freaking out.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that is like,
Yeah. So I fear for what I have to do here.
I fear.
See, what's interesting is I wonder if, like, as more seasons come out, like, what's actually going to stand out. And it's obviously, some of them will be influenced by recency bias.
Yeah.
But, like, because in this moment, I'm inclined to say I would court the carriage.
Okay.
Marry the bee scene, honestly, because I'm
Exactly.
feeling really impassioned. But I don't want to duel the
And
you're
you
the
gotta
bane of
duel
my
the bane of my-
existence.
You're the-
That's another thing. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep remembering
Sorry.
things. That's a key line in the book. I think it's honestly maybe one of Kate's thoughts. I don't remember. It's a little different, but that line is in the book. I don't know about the Burn For You one. But, like, one of Colin's big lines, I think his speech that he gives her at the end and making it more impassioned about, like, how he, like, feels about her or whatever. But there is, like, a key Colin line that they don't say. And it's like, I love you for my today, my past, and my future. Like, there's some line that they don't do. And I was like, damn.
Damn, Ma.
Unfortunately, I'm dueling Bane of My Existence in this moment in time. That could change.
Okay. Yeah. It's like,
What about you?
I don't know. I think I would marry the bee scene.
The bee scene's fire. There's no kissing at all. Fire.
It's too good.
It's a little
You
too
can't-
good.
And it's like,
If you know what happens in the book, that's
like
funny,
it's
but
insane.
the-
Like they didn't even need to. Oh, wow. Okay. And I'm sorry, but I don't like her scene. Even though I did like that scene, just the
it's a
pain in
good
my-
confession scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when they giggle, I like when they have moments of just being like,
They laugh.
that's what romance should be.
They were
It should be passionate, but
laughing.
you should be having a silly good time.
But you have to laugh every once in a
Yeah.
while and be unserious.
Yeah.
While Pitbull plays.
Well, Pitbull plays key. And then you're courting
Bane of my existence.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah.
Okay.
Those are some good scenes though.
Ooh,
I picked
okay, so
the best scenes.
so here's my last one. I'm trying to decide. We can maybe decide together.
Okay. I'm glad we get to do this together.
I want to do songs, so similar to you. Give Me Everything.
Give me
You Belong With Me.
everything.
Yellow and POV.
Oh,
But like,
shit.
which one of those should be eliminated?
Wait, what was the first one?
Give Me Everything.
And then yeah.
You Belong With Me, Yellow and POV.
I feel like yellow.
I know, they're all so good.
No, they're all four good.
Because they're all such good. They're good in different ways. Like POV's the right song for the
POV
mirror
just
scene.
really slayed.
You Belong With Me is so them. Yellow is like Penelope. Fuck, man. My nails, my really bad nails.
Well, shit.
And Give Me Everything. Give Me Everything.
Give me everything. Okay, what do I get?
Honestly, the song itself that I'm least attached to is POV.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was perfect for that scene.
Like, it was just,
like
like,
that's right there with
good.
them. Okay, Give Me Everything. You Belong With Me. Yellow.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm going to court. Give me everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to duel. You belong with me.
I'm kind of agreeing.
And I'm gonna marry Ella during the wedding.
I think I am. I think I'm aligned. Yellow, just like the way that it just like hit so hard at that moment.
And it shows everyone, and it's just so cute.
It's so good. And Give Me
And
Everything
it's
I said I
perfect
love.
song.
It's crazy though because I love You Belong With Me like that. They really
Yeah.
used that one right. But just I don't know, something about the other two.
There's something about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I've got.
Wait, do I get one more?
Yes.
Oh my god, which one do I do?
Make it good. This is about to be 2 hours long. Our longest pod, can you believe, is about Polin
it's
season.
Oh no,
We had so much to say.
How this happened to
Well,
us?
we had to spend like 30 minutes only on Polin, and then we had to talk about everything else.
had
It's
to-
impossible. We're gonna need some timestamps. I can help.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Queen, Violet,
Danbury?
Danbury.
I almost had the same thing, but I
But
think I
can you-
switched one of them for Portia.
Oh yeah,
Look at
that's
us.
a good one.
The Queen, Violet, and Lady
Okay,
Danbury.
wait. I'm gonna switch since we are more. I'm switching it to the Queen to
To Portia.
Portia.
That's
So
what I had.
connected. We haven't watched Queen Charlotte and
Yeah. I think that's fair because I feel like just the Queen like has her purpose on the show, but she isn't.
she isn't like the main.
Especially this season, I feel like she was less kind
Yeah.
of prevalent, except when they needed her.
If we watched Queen Charlotte, we would
Yeah,
have more of
I
a
think we'd be
connection.
wedding.
I think we just automatically be
Oh,
wedding.
see, I don't want to do. I don't want to. Honestly, here's my thought process with them. I love them all. I think I would marry Violet or wed Violet, court Portia. She's
Exactly, 'cause
serving
she's
this season. And the only reason I would duel
You're dueling
Danbury
the cunty ass
is because she
Danbury.
has a cane and she's not winning.
She's gonna beat you with the cane.
No, I'm gonna shoot her with a gun.
Oh my God.
No, I'm gonna go. I aims this pistol at the sky. I would not duel. I would not complete the duel, but I'd challenge her.
Do I have any more challenges?
Do I have any more challenges? Okay. What about you?
Did I? Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is hard.
I love
They're
this
all so
question.
cunty. I think I agree on courting
Portia?
and then I think I'd switch. I would wed
You'd wed Danbury.
because that's a bad
Agatha?
bitch, and I got
Yeah.
yeah, and I would duel Violet, but I would not actually duel.
Aim his
I'd
pistol
give-
at the sky.
I'd give her a hug.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah.
Okay, no, don't do it.
Nah, ma. Damn, ma.
I'd be like, damn, ma.
I love her.
Damn, ma.
Love her. She was fire. I didn't give attention to this scene right as we're finishing up. When because she clocks it when Colin's like, how do you know if you have feelings for your friend? How do you find out if they have feelings for you? Like, she starts to clock it. And then when she's like, it's a shame you're not going to see Penelope, like, get engaged tonight. It's going to be all because of you. I do hope you feel better. Like, so good. She's like, oh, it's a shame.
She's like, I know what my kids want.
That's so good. I love that scene. Oh, it's a shame. And he was like,
What?
Fire. So that's our short little podcast on Bridgerton.
If you made it this far, slay.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next week we're doing Glee season 3. Boom, what we're doing. Bridgerton season 3, Glee season 3, The Bear season 3, baby.
Yes,
season 3 is often one of the better seasons of shows.
True.
So
Season
I have
3.
high hopes for The Bear.
It better fucking
But-
slay.
We got to finish June Lynch first. Thank you guys for watching, my dear. I should have started out with dearest gentle readers.
Dearest gentle readers.
Well, thank you for reading and watching and listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to message me the next month while this hyperfixation lasts. Because that's all I can think about.
Don't
and
message
It's going to
me.
go away, and it's going to be sad. But nothing worse is when, like, your hyperfixation stops hitting. Like, you care about it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't, like, give you a buzz. Because that's how I felt about, I don't think Kate and Nancy's a great example because they gave me a buzz. But it's different than the buzz it gave me when it was their season.
Yeah.
And it's just like, damn. Like, the way I look at Pedro Pascal is with such fondness. But I'm not
That's so funny.
damn, Ma.
Damn, Ma. Yeah, hyperfixations are weird. And
We
they
should
need
do
to
a
be
whole
studied.
episode. We do a PowerPoint presentation on, like, hyperfixations
How I
we've had
feel.
and where we stand
it just,
today.
like, fades.
It's like Sterling Knights up
And I'm
there.
like, okay.
Starstruck.
This is where it all began.
I think Second Chance was original hyperfixation of mine. That's for another day. Honestly, a hyperfixation
We
pod.
could do a hyperfixation pod.
Like and subscribe for the hyperfixation pod of
Like and
2023.
subscribe.
Sorry, 2024. It's been 2024 for 6 months.
Damn.
All right, we gotta wrap it
We
up.
gotta wrap it up. We've been...
Thank you for watching, and with that, I have to say, we are engaged.
Oh, yeah. We are engaged.
See you at the masquerade ball, bitches.
Slay.
Long live pollen season.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Remember to rate, follow, and share with friends.
And find us on TikTok and Instagram at unseriesous to see more content and find out what we're watching next.
We hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye!